All right. In three, two, one. Hello, listeners and readers of AwardsWatch.com. This is the Awards Watch Podcast, episode 327, and it is time for our final Oscar predictions of this season for the nominees. I'm so excited. It's going to be a long episode, so buckle in, buttercups. Let's go. It's going to be a wild episode. We've got 21 categories to go through. We're going to get rid of the shorts. We love the shorts, but it's none of us watched them all yet. You know what I mean? None of us did all that work. So we'll talk about the shorts here in a couple weeks as we find out those nominees. But joining me today is our editor-in-chief, Erik Anderson.
I hunger and thirst, listeners. I hunger and thirst.
Our associate editor, Sophia Ciminello.
Buckle up, Buttercups sounded like a lockjaw line on the cutting room floor.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
And Josh Parham.
Let's have a few small beers and get to work.
Yes. A few small beers get to work. Guys, any thoughts you have before we get this going? A little nerves? Anybody nervous? Anybody unsure about a
No,
category?
super chill. Yeah,
super chill?
No.
Josh,
100% confidence in
yeah.
every
reputation's
category.
on the
Yeah.
line. Got to get these things right. How much do you guys like truly worry about being right about this on these predictions? More than the winners?
I don't ever actually worry. I used to all the time,
Mm.
but not anymore, honestly, about
He's like, I own a website now. I don't have to worry about any of that.
okay, I'm not gonna be all like that about it, but I don't put the same pressure, I don't think, anymore
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. I
Sophia?
worry more about the people I love getting nominated than how
That's
I
fair.
do with my predictions, I
think you're-
think.
I
But
think
I am
you're-
stressed about certain categories.
I think you're
Always
gonna be
in getting
fine.
right.
Josh,
Yeah.
any nervous going into this?
I only get nervous about beating certain people at predictions, which
I
will
love
remain
it.
nameless here.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just like I try to do the best I can and go with my gut instincts, and hopefully they will be right. But outside of that, it's like whatever. Nobody's going to remember this in 10 years anyway.
That's true. I like to just get a good score for the most part. If I can get 4 out of 5 in every category, I think that's pretty good if
Yeah.
you're shooting at 80%.
If I can get 3 out of 5 in documentary, then I will be happy.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
the one.
that's
I'm
the one.
so
Yeah.
bad at that one.
Yeah. Terrible at that. But I think we're going to do
It's a wild category this year.
It's very
Yeah.
open this year. Yeah, there's going to be some conversations on some categories that are going to be longer than most. We're going to get right to it. We got 21 categories to get through. We're all going to give our predictions. We'll talk a little bit about each of them for the most part. We're going to do it in random order. So it's not just going to be straight up and down. I've got a randomizer here. I'm really excited about it. Erik is like, maybe not so excited about it, but who gives a shit? I think it's fun. So our first category is best makeup and hairstyling. So Sophia, what do you have in the
Me?
5? Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have Frankenstein, Sinners, Wicked for Good, The Smashing Machine, and I'm going with One Battle After Another.
Okay. All right. Josh Parham.
Yeah, I got those top 4, which I feel like is the consensus for. It
Mhm.
is that last spot. I think One Battle is a good pick. That makeup artist has been nominated before, so he's in the club, but it really is just for one thing.
Yeah.
It's the Sean Penn scene, and I don't know if that's quite enough. So I think I'm actually going to go with Kakuo. I feel like that might be our kind of left field choice that makeup and hairstyling can do often, and I think that's where I'm going to land.
I got Frankenstein, Smashing Machine, Sinners, Kakuo, and One Battle After Another. That's what I've got right now.
So no
Erik?
Wicked for Good.
No Wicked for Good.
Okay.
I think the bubbles burst on that movie. So I'm sorry. Just think it
But
has.
Mark Coulier, though,
I know.
yeah.
But
It's crazy though, because the addition of the Tin Man and Scarecrow is actual makeup, and it looks really good until Alice Brooks absolutely dilutes it and makes it
Mhm.
look like cheap CGI, which is
Yeah.
really too bad. But ultimately, I mean, you kind of look a little bit at the bake-off categories that we have and the tiny bits of information in tea that we get from that. And with that, I'm going with Frankenstein, Sinners, Smashing Machine, Marty Supreme, and I moved around Kuko and Wicked a little bit back and forth, and I landed on Wicked.
Okay.
See, I'm going to say this though
Here we
about the
go.
tea. I have followed this year after
Yeah.
year, tea from Bake Offs, and it's usually wrong. It has
Especially
always led me
makeup.
astray.
Yeah.
Makeup and visual effects have led me astray so many times that it's just one of those things where I almost have to pretend like it's not happening, like, or I don't hear that extra information and just kind of go with my gut and go with what's been appearing. And the one thing I'll point out about Marty Supreme that I thought was odd was that with the Guild, it only got a hairstyling nomination. It didn't get nominated in any of the makeup categories. So I don't know about that. I mean, I think it could change. It's very subtle work. I think it's really good work, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't have that in until recently, but there has just been a little more attention around it. I don't know. Ugly Stepsister could get in too.
Hmm.
There's actually a film I want to talk about real quick because it got on the short list, and
No,
I'm gonna say it. I don't
no,
care.
don't do
If
it.
we're gonna talk about it, like I've heard from members in the Makeup Guild and how much they love the work of Nuremberg. And if there is an actual surprise here, I think Nuremberg is the Golda of this year and gets in for that makeup on Russell Crowe. I'd have
All
to.
over the BAFTA long
It's
list.
all
Yeah.
over those long lists, and I'm kind of thinking about making a switch. I might make a switch before Thursday, because I've kind of had it in there. It's just like this weird feeling of that movie, and it's
You've been
so
saying it for a while, so
yeah.
why not ride it to the end?
You know what? I think I will. I think I'm going to switch it back in as of right now. And you're not going to take the Oscar, short list, long list, you can't take all that too seriously. I mean, Josh, we talked about that before with the No Time to Die before, where it like a movie just it's all over that list, and then
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, then this movie's going to get 16 Oscar nominations." And you're like, "No, it's not. It didn't get any." So, yeah, I'll throw Nuremberg back in there with One Battle and Sinners and Smashing Machine and Frankenstein. That'll be my 5. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to mention about makeup? No? Okay. All right. Next category is is this a big one? It is. Josh, are you ready?
Oh God.
Best Actress, Josh
Oh,
Parham.
Oh my God. It's so early for this.
Wow, okay.
Josh Parham, the Best Actress guru.
Oh,
This
well.
early in the episode, please go ahead and tell us who
Yeah.
are your 5 for what will be an extensive conversation about this category.
Yeah. This
I love
is
it. Eric's super shocked right now. It's great.
all right. Well, you know what? Get it out the way early. So, okay, Best Actress. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne, If I Lived, I'd Kick You. I still have Renata Reinsve. I've been hearing some rumblings of people thinking she could miss, but I don't know if I'm willing to say that. Really, I think I'm still gonna have her in. And I think the last 2 spots that I'm settling on are Chase Infinity and Kate Hudson.
Wow. Oh, wow. All right. Well, Josh, I'll go with you on 4 out of those 5
Okay.
because I have Jessie Buckley, I have Rose Byrne, I have Renata Reinsve, I have Chase Infinity. I don't believe Chase Infinity, all the narratives that some people have been not predicting her already, essentially she's going to be the miss. She's going to ride that One Battle wave. That movie's too popular.
I think she could still miss though, because I do think there are people out there that think it's more supporting, and I do worry about that, but I don't know. I'm not predicting it, but I do worry.
I think she's not like some others and have missed at this point. Like even Renata has missed at actors, SAG, whatever the hell we're calling it these days. But then she just won the European Film Award, Renata. So
Yeah.
the one in my last spot, I'm giving it to Emma Stone. Until she's a previous winner, 2-time winner. I think that people love Begonia, have seen Begonia more than Song Sung Blue. Uh, the one I am nervous about, though, is actually Rose Byrne, because solo nominees for films are always tricky. She hasn't swept the season, though she had the Golden Globe speech, which helped her in that win right before the voting. So that helps. But those are the five I'm sticking with as of now. But yeah, there is that giant Kate Hudson just standing right there to kick in the door. Erik, you're five.
Okay, so I am absolutely not on the fence about Renata Reinsve or Rose Byrne. I
Okay.
think they are easy ins. Rose Byrne is exactly the kind of soul nomination here. It fits too well. And the SAG thing, every single non-English language performer missed.
Mhm.
So if it was like an isolated thing, maybe I would have a little bit of side eye, but everybody got snubbed. So
Mhm.
everyone's really on the same page because of it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, as of this, I have not done my Best Actress piece yet. I just did Best Actor today, Saturday, we're recording this. But I have changed from my December lineup. Unfortunately, I wish it was going to be that lineup, but I do have Jessie Buckley, Renata, Rose, Chase Infinity, and Emma Stone as well
Oh,
as you do.
wow. Erik and I are
Yeah.
on the same page.
Only because I mean, clearly The Testament of Anne Lee
Yeah.
is the film this season that has gone so massively underseen that it's gonna probably get zero, missing every single shortlist. They're just it sucks because there are so many holiday Christmas Day movies that got plenty of visibility. But I just think this was a bad movie to release on Christmas. It took too long to buy
Mhm.
uh, by Searchlight. It would have been great as a October, November release that could kind of already be in the conversation, but it took so long to happen, and it's not an easy watch. You put something like this at Christmas and it can be really difficult. Um, so yeah, I'd love for her to get in, but yeah, that's my five.
It honestly feels like a movie that should have just been delayed to next year. You know,
I mean,
We all
maybe
thought that was going to happen, honestly, for a
They
while.
probably should have.
I wouldn't have been mad. It's
Yeah.
an absolutely incredible
Like a
film.
May or
And
June release for it and
June
build
for
up
my
some momentum.
birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
The
That would have
Kate
been
the Kate
perfect.
Hudson thing, I do think I will probably have her in sixth in my
That's the
in
right
Yeah.
my
six.
in
Yeah.
my finals, just as a I'm definitely worried that she's gonna peg leg her way into that five, but I don't know.
It's gonna hop on
Don't
in.
I don't
Yeah.
trust it.
Sophia, is there I want your five as well, but is
Yeah.
there a seventh person here that could sneak in? I mean, it kind of feels like we were talking about 11 to 12 names and now it's gone down to six.
I mean, there are people I wish could sneak in. Amanda
Yeah.
Seyfried at the top of that list, but I think it really is six. So my five, I have the five that you and Erik have. I have
Wow.
Jessie Buckley,
Mhm.
Rose Byrne, Renata Reinsve, Chase Infinity, Emma Stone. And I've really toyed with Kate Hudson and putting her in. And the comparisons that I've heard just don't quite do it for me because this is what I have to remember. Whenever I don't want Emma Stone to appear, she does. So
It's fair.
that's one of the reasons why I'm also
Fair.
predicting her because I thought Begonia was dead and gone, but she's back and it doesn't matter what I want. They clearly actors really admire her career. I think in this performance and movie, I think we'll have, a better cross section of American and international voters. It has
When,
more broad support. And I think with Kate Hudson, where I'm stuck is yes, we've seen the special FYC events that have been going on, right? Demi Moore hosting something for her, Divine Joy Randolph hosting a lunch for her. We've seen all of those
her
things. And
mother.
on paper, yes, it's a best actress performance, right? checks off all of those boxes. She's doing an accent. She has an addiction. Her like all of these things happen. She sings a song, but she's not Annette Bening. She's not a veteran in the industry who is playing a real person who won, even though she wasn't celebrated there because it was a strike, a silver medallion at Telluride and has an overdue narrative. That's not really her. She's also not Jessica Chastain in the eyes of Tammy Faye, who went on to become a winner. Like Jessie Buckley is there. And I think that that actually harms Kate Hudson's chances a little bit of getting in because she's competing for a nomination, not a win, and she never has been. And this is the type of performance that wins in an off year in Best Actress. But it's not going to happen. So that's why I have her at 6, but I could see a switch happening and her getting in. Chase has been pounding the pavement this season, and especially in the past week of voting, where I just feel like I'm hopeful that she still gets enough #1 votes to get in. But there's always that thing in the back of your mind where you worry, but that's the 5 I'm going to stick with right now.
Is there a world where, okay, so if there is a world where both Hudson and Stone get in, which would then have Focus Features having 3 of the Best Actress 5 this year, which would be insane. Who's the one that's on the outs? Is it Chase Infinity? Is it Renata?
I think so.
Is it Rose Byrne?
I would say it's Chase
Yeah.
because it's a borderline supporting performance too.
No matter how
She's
strong
a
that
newcomer.
film is.
I think
Okay.
When in doubt, always rely on the actors branch to disappoint you.
yes.
Well, would it be Renata? But I mean, does the actor and the SAG,
No,
snubs and all
No.
that matter?
no.
No. I mean,
But I mean, if you
it
look
could.
at
I mean, it does.
what I
I
think, if
I
you look
see
at what
what-
I think is
performance.
probably our top 9,
yeah,
they all are BAFTA long listed as well. Even Kate
Mhm.
Hudson.
yeah,
So that there's nothing that we're going to get from there.
Yeah.
That kind of gives us any good information other than Kate Hudson is kind of really everywhere.
Mhm.
I do just want to say that I know that over the last couple of weeks, we're trying to be like, oh, it's just the actors and they do crazy shit all the time, with international and there's these snubs. I mean, if there was so much international hate, then why did Amelia Perez break through and none of these movies made it in this year? Like Amelia Perez was on a streamline to win last year before some tweets came out.
I
So
loved that movie.
they love that movie. So you have to factor that in there as well. I'm not saying that Renata Reinso is missing. I have her in clearly. We all have her in. But that is something to think about. Like if on the morning she is missing, that movie underperforms and, other neon titles are falling and rising, then you have to look back at that was actually a real thing. But that's something for post nominations. We all think she's getting in. We all have ours. Josh is the only one that has Kate Hudson in over Emma Stone right now. That's a dangerous thing because Josh is really right about a lot of this stuff. So maybe we all
Well,
just.
I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, Emma Stone is my number 6. I think it's just that for some reason, Emma Stone feels like somebody that would show up everywhere and miss. I don't know. There's just something about that performance that feels like that to me. And she's also like doing nothing to campaign
No.
for this. And
Hudson's just
Hudson
pounding the
is out
pavement
there.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
and
is.
when it gets down to the wire, like that might just make the difference between being, squeaking in and being left out. So I think I'm just doing that because I just feel like that's where it's headed. Because I can see Kate Hudson getting like enough #1s from people that she knows that they're passionate about or just to get her nominated. And I think that might make the difference. But obviously, I think
Yeah.
Stone could easily get in too.
Yeah.
And that movie is very popular among the type of blue hairs that vote. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely not out of the realm of possibility. And they might just think that, ooh, whatever Emma Stone is doing is too weird and too icky. But I love what Kate Hudson is doing. Best movie of the year. I mean, people are really like kind of crazy over Song Sung Blue.
Yeah.
More billboards for that movie than anything else when we were out in LA.
Well, that and Hamnet. No, for
Yeah.
real. Like they
No.
were everywhere.
Focus, yeah.
Yeah. Focus was really ramping that up. We shall see. Maybe a last second switch by any of us on Wednesday. Who knows? But that's where we
Or
stand.
in the middle of this podcast, since we just
Too.
did Best Actress at the second. I don't even know what to think about that. That's crazy to me.
Well, Eric, guess what? It's time for
Okay.
Best International Feature. So,
Okay, this category is insane.
yeah, this is an insane one. Eric, you go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I have done my official predictions on this, and it was really, really difficult because I do feel very comfortable about three of these, and that's Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, and It Was Just an Accident. All neon films. I feel pretty solid about that. I don't think I would ever change that top three. Then it gets kind of strange because you look at the titles that people are clearly passionate about, like Sarat. You look at the fact that we have three Palestine subject or films that take place in Palestine. So The Voice of Himrajab is there. Left-Hand Girl is Netflix's only shot here. They're very good at it. It's also a really, really loved film. I don't really know what to do with No Other Choice, which I know is a big favorite for people, but not for voters as much. It just feels like it's the stepchild of Neon's slate here, that they all either had or picked up from Cannes, and this is a Venice title. But then there's two movies that have gotten an enormous amount of marketing in this last week, especially. And that's Belén from Argentina and Homebound from India. India getting a nomination here would be pretty epic, considering how poor they are in their choice usually every year. And collectively, this has been the most respected choice that they've had in a really long time. And the marketing blitz for this movie is crazy. I had three Variety magazines come in the week of voting, all of them with full page ads for it. And I struggle. I'm going with Sarat and Himrajab as my 4 and 5, but this is an incredibly tough category. It's an amazing year of international films.
Oh man, Eric took my 5. Again,
Oh, wow.
we're on the same page. I agree with you. Those are the three safe bets. I think that it's not just the long list or short list, right? For Sarat here, it's the love that they had today with the International Film Awards. It's how it's been sneaking in with critics groups. It's just been kind of hanging around. In Henry Job, I feel like such an important subject matter. It will get in. I don't know if Left-Handed Girl's my 6. I wish that there was, I wish there was a Homebounds like in 7 and 8, like the films you mentioned. I wish there was a world where Sound of Falling, which had a great reception out of Cannes, and we were all there to see it, and it's a wonderful film. I wish that was getting more of a push. It's just clearly not the case. But it does feel like those have kind of feel like the 5. I do feel like that, what is it? Bin? What is that movie called from Amazon? What is it called?
Belén.
I feel like that's a spoiler because they sent out specific
I have that at 8.
stuff to voters, and it's been screening, and it's been
I get
one.
an
It
email
was
about it every day.
Sophia's
Sorry,
like tired.
that probably came from me because one of the marketing blitzes they did was
with our site.
with AwardsWatch, like a blitz.
But it was one of the first screeners out the gate during the season, physical and on platforms. So I wouldn't be surprised if that sneaked in there over something like Sarat, which, I mean, has its lovers and definitely has its haters, but it has passion behind it. And that's what you need when you get into this type of ballgame. So, yeah, those are my 5. Sophia, are you different than myself and Eric?
I am actually. So
Okay.
I have those four. So I have Sentimental Value, Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, and Surratt. I think
So
the
the
passion for
Neon
Surratt is pushing
Four.
it in, the
Okay.
Neon Four. And then I do have Belen here.
Okay. All right.
I think that I have not seen it yet. I need to watch it still, but I think it being a court, from what I understand, a courtroom drama about abortion, that feels like, a key issue and an important topic to a lot of people. This category, sometimes they go rogue and they throw you a surprise. So I also have Late Shift as an alternative just because I've been hearing a lot of really good things about that.
Yes.
And if voters have to watch every movie on the short list in order to vote for the nominees, then I could see something like that just getting some hidden support and popping up. Homebound, Hin Rajab, those are all Left-Handed Girl, all I think in the mix, but those are the five that I went with here.
Josh.
Well, I have the five that you and Eric have
Okay.
right now,
All right.
which makes me nervous.
Yeah, that does. It
I
makes
don't
it
like
nervous
that.
when 3 out of 5 of us have, or 3 out
I
of
don't
4
like
of us have
that.
something in the
But
5.
I think that the Neon 4 feel
Yeah.
somewhat secure to me. Surratt was the one I thought would get show up at a lot of places but miss out on the end, but it's showing up so much on the short list, at least proved to me that people were watching it. So I felt like I had to put it in at that point. And then the last spot, it could go any number of places. Like we haven't mentioned them, but like Kakuo is also a very popular movie too. I
Mhm.
think The President's Cake is another one that I am
Yes.
looking at. It's also Sony Pictures Classics. I never underestimate
That
them.
movie has escaped me all year. I have yet to
Me
watch that
too.
movie.
It's a good
But
movie.
but
I
if
It's
it
like it.
gets
good. It's good.
if
Yeah.
if it gets nominated, I'll
It's
probably sit down
long.
and watch it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
long.
Wait, how long does it take? 40, is it like 45
It's
to an hour in the
2:30.
oven? Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh
I
my
knew that
God.
was
Yeah.
coming.
Wow.
Anyway, continue, Josh. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, truly, it feels like anything could be in that last spot. Like, I feel like we have mentioned pretty much every single movie
Yeah.
that's on the short list. And I think I'm defaulting to Henry Job just because it is so powerful when you watch it. And yeah, it has so much passion behind it from those that do see it. But I don't feel confident about that at
No,
all.
it's a
I
very
think it could
difficult
easily
film
be any of these other
to
movies, but
watch.
I feel like I'm just sort of defaulting to it. I also, maybe this is weird logic in it. I shouldn't dictate it so much, but I feel weird if there's like 5 Cannes movies. I don't know. That just personally just does something to me where it seems like I shouldn't do that. And I would be doing that if like The President's Cake was in there, for instance. So that's why I'm also going to go with Henry Job to just break up the festival origins of
It
these
was the
movies.
film at both Venice and at Toronto that was the hot ticket. Voice of Henry Job. So
Yeah.
it's very powerful film, very difficult watch. But
I've seen this 5 from so many people, which
Yeah.
again just makes me like I don't like
And they
that.
throw curveballs sometimes,
I
like
know.
The Quiet Girl, or like Lunana Yak in the Classroom. They'll just like throw one
damn
in. You're like, where'd this
yak.
come from?
I knew that was going to come up in this conversation. That yak.
I had to bring it up. I
Yeah, I
always do.
know. I know.
And you're right about Belen. Like God,
Yeah.
they've
been pushing it.
everywhere. I
Yeah.
also have not seen it. I think I'm kind of like silently
mean,
protesting.
Eric, have
because
you
they've been
watched
pushing
it?
so much?
No, but selfishly, I hope it gets in because that's good for me.
Oh my God! All right, all right. Okay.
Stop sending me those emails.
Yeah,
I,
I'll predict you if you just if you
you're gonna
just.
have to opt out. Oh my
Yes.
God.
All right. Okay. That is a great way to end this conversation there. All right. Next category: best costumes, best costume design. It's actually just like great segue. I'll start this one. I've been going back and forth with this one, but I feel like I'm pretty safe here. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Sinners, Wicked for Good, and One Battle After Another is what I have in my 5 right now. Sophia?
I have the same 5.
There you go. Here we go. That's dangerous.
And the reason it is dangerous, but the reason why I have One Battle here, because I think the other 4 I feel really good about. Like they're showy period or fantasy work. I mean, for Wicked for Good, why is Ariana Grande wearing the same dress the whole movie? I don't know, but it's pretty. And there is good work other than that, I will say, in the film.
The sex
But
cardigan.
yeah, the sex
Yeah.
cardigan, soon to be Oscar nominated.
Can't wait for that to be
But-
on like on like the Bake Off. Like
Yeah.
them having to show that would have been
I
awesome.
think when it comes down to it, One Battle After Another, I can see this getting swept up like when Everything Everywhere got a costume design nomination. I know that those were a bit showier, but it's Colleen Atwood doing the costumes, and I think she's more likely to get in for this one than she is for Kiss of the Spider Woman, which has not appeared really anywhere all season. And she did get the BAFTA long list for this. Marty Supreme, I think you could make that argument, but it did miss the Guild, I believe. So that's why I'm leaning One Battle here, even though it is contemporary.
Spider Woman. Just a movie that's tanked. Josh, you're 5.
I have that same 5
Oh
right
no.
now.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh.
But the thing is that I think when Marty Supreme, that's actually my number 6 at the moment. And I know it missed the Guild, but that Guild also announces pretty early, and
Yeah.
they can miss some stuff. Like last year, they missed A Complete Unknown, another
Right.
Chalamet film. So I don't think I want to totally count that out just because it did miss that nomination. And I think if that movie is as strong as we think it could be, it could easily get in and get swept up with that. But I think because One Battle is our Best Picture frontrunner, it's Colleen Atwood. Yes, it is contemporary. That's what makes me nervous. But when I don't know what to do otherwise, it just feels like that's a good place to default to. But yeah, I think Marty Supreme, that's the one that I'm looking out for to still get into this lineup.
Yeah,
I would
me
love it.
too.
I would love it to be something like Hedda, but I just
I
feel
had
like
Hedda for a minute, but I don't trust Amazon to
wait
get
a
that
minute.
nomination.
Maybe
don't
somebody
either.
does have it
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Erik Anderson, what are your 5?
I have Frankenstein, Wicked for Good, Hamnet, Sinners, and Hedda.
Okay.
I have Hedda in. I have Marty Supreme at 6. And when I look at this category specifically outside of purely precursors, I do look at the variety and time periods. And Hedda is really the only example of this that they can kind of go with pretty of a specific time and place.
Yeah.
Marty Supreme is also pretty much like that. It's really representative. Obviously, Hamnet is very specifically representative. I don't know. They all of our kind of titles that we've thrown out so far are very specific, and there isn't a lot of like crossover where two films really feel like they're fighting for the same spot, which is kind of a good thing. Then it really feels varied. But there's Kuko there too, also possibly
I was thinking about that.
making a play, doing it, that and makeup like topsy-turvy and just kind of hitting. I think that could absolutely happen.
Think about
Two
Hedda.
categories that do go along together too, makeup
They
and
do.
costumes.
Hmm.
Thing about Hedda is that like that movie should be in a ton of these categories. It should be making it's
Yeah.
built for this, and it's just what we were saying about Berlin is not the same for Hedda. It has not been pushed
No.
nearly as hard, and Tessa Thompson and Nina Haas should be in conversations more, and they're not. And that screenplay should be in an adapted screenplay conversation. The cinematography should be there. I just am very hesitant because Amazon seems to have forgot that movie even exists. Like the way that they just dumped it on their platform too was
Yeah.
very weird after it having its a pretty good TIFF premiere. I think that my 6 is Marty Supreme for the
Yeah.
reasons you gave, Eric. Like it's right there. I just I agree with Sophia. I think there's when they love a movie, man, they nominate it in any category. It doesn't matter. And especially a front runner this strong. So that's why I have One Battle in there. I do worry about the contemporary. That is something I always do worry about when I think about this category. But this time I don't know. Calling Atwood. That's a big
Yeah.
name in all of this too, and
If they were a little flashier, I might be like into that. Like La La Land getting in
Mhm.
has bright, vivid colors and stuff, and that sort of made sense as a contemporary. But
they made the robe from
mean,
scratch.
the thing about this is that robe ended up being a pretty iconic piece of
Yeah,
costume and was
Yeah.
a huge Halloween costume if you were a straight white man.
that and Gladys. You know, those were
Well,
that's what everybody
that's
wanted. Yeah.
not for straight white men, but yes.
Well, you don't know. Don't put people in a box, Eric. That's not nice.
Mm,
Can I throw out one just like rogue contender that I'm not predicting, but I'm just wondering about?
Sure.
Is because I think they really like 70s costumes, and it makes me wonder about the secret agent.
Oh,
Ooh.
that would be really good.
Yeah.
But Josh, you're
well,
more
I
worried
mean,
about the costumes not
somebody should
on
get
Wagner
a
Mora.
yeah, somebody should get a prize for that blue, very tight shirt, that polo that they put on Wagner Mora. Someone
Mhm.
should get an award for that.
Get an honorary,
Something.
Yeah. I
something.
just want to throw it out there because I feel like that is one of those things that could happen, and everybody's like, wow, how did that make this lineup? But they do like stuff from the 70s, I've noticed. So
Oh,
just as
then it's gonna be Song Sung Blue,
Oh,
obviously,
God damn it! All
and
right,
all
you,
the
Yeah,
all
we're
the
we're
you
really
ju-
lucky that hasn't been appearing in craft
yeah,
categories so
yeah.
far. Makeup, like it's really not. Those wigs aren't remembered,
they
thankfully.
are
Suleiman.
the
Yeah,
wigs are not wigging.
yeah. All right, best original score. Sophia, why don't you kick us off with this one?
Okay, best original score. I have Sinners, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, Hamnet, and Seurat.
Wah, wah.
Wow,
That was such a wah.
and
And my
Sarah.
my number six is Marty Supreme, which
Okay,
I want to get in, but I know that this group can be kind of clubby sometimes, and I don't know how it's really like my five and six are both like electro
Hmm.
buzzy scores,
Yeah.
but I don't know. There's something about like when I saw Seurat all over the short list and
You're
it
like,
took me
this
by
is the place.
surprise. That's where I went with it. But this could be one I switch at the last minute.
Yeah.
But the top four I feel pretty good about.
Josh.
Yeah, I agree. I still have that top four: Sinners, One Battle, Frankenstein, Hamnet. I had Surratt, but then if I'm dinging Marty Supreme for being this electro score that's too cool, like would that not also apply to Surratt? That feels sort of
Yeah.
weird to have that apply to one movie and not the other. So I don't know. I was going back and forth, and I actually then decided to do something that's a risky pick for this one that hasn't been showing up in a lot of places, but I decided to take a risk for it. I am actually going to do Train Dreams.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
I like it. All right, Josh. Okay. All right.
I don't know. I feel
It's
like
got the vibe of it, doesn't it?
it feels like the vibe of an
Yeah.
original score nominee, and it is a little bit more traditional than the
Mhm.
others, and I think there is passion for that movie. And I just feel like that might be a surprise nominee here. So I'm because I don't feel good about Serrano or Marty Supreme because they might be too
Hmm.
cool, and that's why I'm
Mhm.
going to go with Train Dreams.
They did also have that live concert
Mm.
in LA during the vote, with a screening and everything. I don't know how many people went to that. It wasn't like the Oppenheimer situation, but it was, well, they did something similar
No, I'm
during
just
for
laughing because
Oppenheimer,
I
but
was wondering how long it would take for
no,
an Oppenheimer mention today.
I'm just saying it was very similar events, one at different times in the vote. Eric, you're five.
I have Train Dreams at number six. I think it's absolutely
Yeah.
a potential spoiler here. And I'm definitely not counting out Hans Zimmer for F1. Absolutely not counting that out. It's tragic that Nicholas Patel's Jay Kelly has not literally shown up one single place, even places where he normally gets in, like Hollywood Music and Media and Society of Composers and Lyrics. Nothing. And it's an absolutely gorgeous piece of work.
Yeah.
So I have that same top four: Sinners, One Battle, Hamnet, and Frankenstein, and I am going with Marty Supreme. And part of it is, which is why I have it in so many categories, is it it's it is a great example, and a complete unknown was this last year, of the late Christmas Day non-festival release, sort of non-festival release, that everyone does see and does see in time. And even if it doesn't hit the guilds, this is where it hits.
So I have Sinners, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, and F1. I do not
I
have
was going
Hamnet.
to ask about what we
Son
thought
of
about
a
Hamnet possibly missing. I
bitch.
did. I wanted to
I
ask about
think
that.
it
But
will
why?
affect it. I do think that final repeat song is going to affect it. I think it got in. I think that the movie it had a good week, but I think that it's going to miss in places. I think Hans Zimmer and that score is more of a traditional version of what of these techno scores. I do kind of agree with Josh. Actually, Josh, Train Dreams is like my number 6.
I'm thinking about
Um,
putting it in now,
you
I
know,
gotta say.
but I don't know. Anytime I doubt somebody like John Williams and Hans Zimmer, they end up getting in.
I don't think
Um,
they are quite equatable though
no,
with that
but like
branch.
they're
Not even
established in those
close.
branches, and I think that Marty Supreme, that one really came on strong towards the end, and I don't think it's like a challenger. I think that's what everybody's sort of worried about that movie. It's like it's a
Mhm.
challenger situation. Marty Supreme, a much more seen and celebrated film, has potentially an Oscar win on its shelf going into the night, and has done extremely well for itself. So that's why it's in. The other three are pretty like just those are the locks of like Frankenstein, One Battle, and Sinners.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is one of those places that Hamnet's going to miss, and we're all going to be like texting each other, being like, "Oh my God, Hamnet missed." Don't think it should. I think it should get in. I think that it shouldn't get dinged, but I don't know. This group is weird, and they do like to ding things, and then they don't like to ding things. Like, because John Williams can do the same scores over and over again for a Star Wars movie and get in. So it's
Mhm.
but Max Richter is not John Williams.
Or
So
Wicked last year.
yeah, or Wicked.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh my
That's
God.
something to also maybe potentially consider as well.
it's made the
Sort of
BAFTA
link.
long list, which
Yeah.
shocked me.
Mhm.
So that's where I have. I'm sorry, Eric. He's already just giving me the look. Um, but that's where I have it as of right now. Think things could change maybe in the next couple of days or by the end of this
Mhm.
conversation. Okay, our next category is for Josh Parham, and Josh, you ready for a long conversation, Josh? Josh has gotten
Oh,
the short end
oh
of the
my
sticks.
God.
Uh-oh.
Best director.
Fuck.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
already.
Yeah. Josh Parham, you're 5. Let's do
It's
it.
like the European Film Awards.
I'm handing out potatoes here in about 5 minutes.
Uh,
My
okay.
God.
Well, all right.
Let's do it.
So, best director, I got Paul Thomas Anderson, who I think is like our
Whoa!
lockiest lock. I know, shocker. Taking a risk on that one. I truly do believe like the next 7 people on my list pick any combination of that 4 and they can
Throw
get
a
in.
dart at the board.
I really do. I think there are pros and cons for all of them. Like even Ryan Coogler, I know everybody says he's a lock, but I do still worry about that movie and it reading too commercial for that branch, which they just do not like. I'm nervous about that. Chloe Zhao is another one where it seemed like she was on the bubble. They're kind of rebounding a little bit with the Globe win, but I don't know. Is that enough for the director's branch? There's Josh Safdie, who I don't feel great about, but that movie's coming on really strong. Guillermo del Toro for Frankenstein. Every single time I think that movie shouldn't get in at any place, it does better than expected. And then you've got our trio at Neon of international directors who all read like they would be their director nominee. And I can't really figure out who is really stronger amongst that group. Like, I am stressing out about this category. It is, I think, by far the hardest one to nail
I
down.
agree.
So, at the moment, I have Joachim Trier, Jafar Panahi, Chloe Zhao, and Ryan Coogler.
Wow.
I don't feel great about that, but that's just
Wow.
what I have at the moment, and I would love some other input to try to
You'll
steer
get
me
it,
in any
Josh.
direction because I'm open.
We're all going to help you
Yeah.
out here. I think that this is going to be a massive conversation. So buckle up, folks. Sophia, I'm going to go over to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I have Paul Thomas Anderson. I have Joachim Trier in second.
Yeah.
That film did so well at the European Film Awards. I've had him getting in all year. Like this is your classic, like BAFTA long list. I mean, if we had the BAFTA nominations, I think he'd be there. Not that we can
Yeah.
actually do that, but that's the pick for me. That's the easiest international pick. And I do think we go to DGA. And from DGA, I'm keeping Chloe Zhao and Ryan Coogler. I'm keeping them both because I think Sinners and Hamnet are strong. And I don't have a reason. I don't have two. I mean, all of these people, I have reasons they could miss, except for PTA, knock on
Yeah.
wood. And then I'm going to do something fun because I just want to. And instead of Josh Safdie, I'm going with Kleber Mendoza Filo for The Secret Agent
Yeah.
as a rogue mention here. I know he's not on the BAFTA long list. I know he's not, but neither were Jafar Panahi and Guillermo del Toro. And I just feel like The Secret Agent is coming on really strong right now. It was just an accident, didn't win a single award at the European Film Awards, a place where Juliette Binoche is president. I I feel like people have been pushing that movie, Neon and others, all year. And it's been this narrative around Panahi. But I think when push comes to shove, I don't actually think the film itself is that loved. But I think The Secret Agent is. And so, but I don't know. It's like Josh Safdie, is he the one to kick out? Am I making a mistake doing that? Maybe. Is it just the DGA 5 replace one and Trier is the one that you replace and it's Guillermo del Toro and I don't need to do this fun second thing, but I think I
Or maybe
am.
we're in 2012 and it's only two from the DJ lineup that make it in.
Yeah, I can't do that right now.
I think it is possible.
It's
I
very
really
possible.
do.
If it's the
It's
two, if
very
it's in that
possible.
scenario, Josh, who's the two that stay from the DJ 5?
I think in that scenario,
What's
it's either
PTA?
Kugler or Zhao.
Oh, that are, whoa. Oh, okay.
I
Well,
mean,
only
along with
PTA.
because Anderson is like in.
Yeah. I get
So
you.
it's literally Anderson in either
Where would you
Zhao
lean?
or
Zhao?
yeah,
Okay. All right.
I think.
That's fair. I'm not pressuring you. You can answer however you
Yeah.
want.
Also, the other thing about Kleber is that whenever there is like something bad that happens with the secret agent in terms of an award show, there is so much sympathy for him, whether
Hmm.
it's handing the award at CCA on the red carpet or being the only one that played off at the Globes. It's always him that
Hmm.
people rally behind. And I do feel like there has been this pairing of Wagner Moura and Kleber like together with this movie, and I do
Hmm.
wonder about that too. So yeah, like I think he could get in very easily. He could get into this lineup.
Eric.
Yeah, I do think that this is the most difficult, and it's because we again have this incredible bench of international films, and we are in an era now that started earlier this decade, a little before that, where we could really kind of count on, one getting in each time. And we knew kind of where this was going to happen. It begins at Cannes, and you kind of just follow the breadcrumbs through EFA and whatever, all the little bits and pieces. But the thing that always stops these films, and then often their directors, is PGA and DGA. And even though DGA clearly has its bent and its style, which is very similar to SAG in just really kind of ignoring these international directors, PGA has definitely opened its gates to that. And I think I will probably, even though we have so many to choose from, I really kind of want to look at 2 years ago when Zone of Interest and Anatomy of a Fall both got PGA, and that really told us that those directors were in. That told me that they were definitely in. So I kind of feel like that. So that's obviously Joachim Trier, who's never been out of my top five. He was my number one for like 6 months. So that to me, he's a given. Obviously, Paul Thomas Anderson is the first given, but I think Trier is as well. And that's honestly from then on is when it's in anyone's game situation, because when Greta Gerwig and Alexander Payne got TGA and then missed the Oscars, they were both previously nominated directors. It wasn't like they were strangers or anything like that. So it makes this almost a little more difficult because Del Toro, previous winner, Safdie obviously would be first timer, Ja, previous winner, and Panahi and Philo have a Palme d'Or and a Best Director win from Cannes. It makes this choice and this five nearly impossible to really nail. And no matter which five makes it in, when we go backwards and start putting those pieces together, even if you get these five right, I don't think that there is a mathematical, academic, scientific solution that is going to point to why you got them right. I just don't think so, which is part and parcel why I care less about getting predictions right anymore. I want to talk about once they happen and how they happen and why they happen. Because I think the path to whatever this five is, it's going to not make sense. It just won't. Whether it's 4 of the 5 DGA, 3 or 2, it just won't. I guess that's all to say where I'm trying to get to my final five. So Anderson, Trier, Ja, Kugler, and Safdie is where I think I'm landing. I don't know what has happened with Jafar Panahi's narrative, which felt a few months ago like the easiest, without being crass about how to represent it, but such an easy path to hear.
But I think it's what I said. I think that you have to actually like the movie, and I feel like people are not really connecting with the movie. I think that's what we've started to see. A little bit, at least.
I don't
It
know if
just
it's
reads
that
so much as a Best Director nominee, though.
It
Like, I
does.
watched
It
that
does.
movie, and it's like, this is what they nominate for Best Director.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can I say, I got to say something about It Was Just an Accident, a movie that I love. And I think that this is the kind of just the awful truth about it.
Starring Irene Dunn.
Yes, correct.
Sorry.
Thank you. You're welcome. It's okay. Is that, yeah, it's a Palme d'Or winner, but it wasn't what everybody thought was going to win. And if Binoche isn't the president, it's most likely just going to be Sentimental Value. Everyone was like, that's the Palme d'Or winner. Everybody there. And when she won, there were a ton of people online that were like, it only won because they were friends. There were some people that called it. Others, like myself and everybody here, were like, it's a great film. It deserves it. Probably should have been Sentimental Value, but it is what it is. And I think then weirdly, because I haven't seen this with a Palme d'Or winner in a while, it had this reverse effect on it, where films have won the Palme d'Or, and my God, I mean, 2 out of the last 6 years, the Palme d'Or winner has won Best Picture. They have shown huge signs of strength, and you would think also there would be sympathy for everything that's going on with Panahi personally, as you're mentioning, Erik, about the sentencing and the trial, and him getting tributes and him being a part of long conversations with Martin Scorsese at New York and all these different places, and winning director at New York, and being, when he is up on stage, making profound statements about the world. And you would think that that would be resonating with people, and it's just not. And you have the Brazilian contingent, which I'm not going to say anything bad about them. If they're listening right now, I love every single one of you. And I am not going to say a single bad thing about you, because you're all beautiful people. Take your aims at other people, not at me. But you have the Brazilian factor both at the Golden Globes as well as in the Academy, that have shown a massive sign of strength over the last 2 years for the films and their country. And honestly, it's kind of great, because these countries haven't been fully celebrated and recognized for their cinema, and their voting block for great movies, 2 great movies, have really stepped up their game and really put them on the map. And then Sentimental Value, again, it just feels like it's been the film from Cannes that's carried over the most. Yes, it had the fumble at SAG, the actors, whatever you want to fucking call that. It's such a stupid name. I'm not calling it the actors. I'm calling it SAG. That's exactly what it is. Because we're going to have a name change in like 2 years, because nobody's going to want to call it the actors anymore. And so Erik's right. Like, that being at the PGA in the 10 signals that this is the international pick. Secret Agent did not get in there. It was just an accident. Surat, all these films that No Other Choice, which that movie's just dead, and was never going to really happen. It's been Sentimental Value. And so I think that is the international pick. Now, then, to Erik's point, you have to whittle it down. If there's 2, then it's probably Kluber, right? Because I don't think it's Jafar Panahi. I think that Secret Agent has done really well, especially with the Globes wins. It was just actually got blanked at the Globes. Didn't even win anything there. Didn't win anything at Critics' Choice, to the point where Jafar Panahi left the ceremony. So there's a little bit of that. People see things. Not that that's, good into the voters, but, that's not nothing. So I think that it's Paul Thomas Anderson, who, I mean, wouldn't it be crazy if he was the one that actually missed? I'm not trying to put that out there, but
We're not doing that.
if we're going to talk about 2012, because then, one battle sweeps all the way there. Anyway, he's in. Paul Thomas Anderson, Joachim Trier, Chloe Zhao, and Ryan Coogler, who both do not feel safe at all. I have said all season long that I feel that Ryan Coogler is the Denis Villeneuve, is the Greta Gerwig pick here, is the John M. Chu, where they have a popular film
for a very long time.
For a very long time, where they are the populist pick that miss out. I pray to God that Ryan Coogler does get in, because online will be the worst place in the history of time.
It will be radioactive on here.
Yeah, I think it'd be terrible.
I think he's okay. Like
but he's not missed.
Yeah,
anywhere,
but he's yeah.
And there's been passion. They've been pushing him. He's been everywhere.
But that branch doesn't give a shit.
But they don't give a shit. They don't care. And I worry about us only seeing long lists and not seeing BAFTA nominations. Those are those are totally different. So you're just taking it off of faith that he gets in. But there is a world where he's not in that BAFTA lineup. There is a world where he is. But you would have to, the BAFTAs would have to nominate a black director. I don't.
Was like, good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Chloe Zhao's a previous winner. And the movie's done very well for itself over the last week. I think she's fine. I think she is
a previous winner, but she's also a previous winner in kind of a year where there was no competition for her or her movie. So like how popular she is with the director's branch is a little up in the air for me at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, this week she had a ton of directors come out.
Oh, they're out in force for her now.
Out in force for her, doing conversations with Denis Villeneuve, doing conversations with Seth Rogen. Like she has made her rounds of conversations. I think she's in that last spot. Erik picked Josh Safdie. I'm going with Guillermo del Toro. That man is beloved in that academy. He's beloved in every single branch. People love Guillermo del Toro. I think he was knocking on the door with Nightmare Alley. He's a previous winner for The Shape of Water. He won the Oscar for Pinocchio. I think this movie is going to be like the second, third most nominated film on the day, Frankenstein. And so I think it is those four from the DGA and Trier. If there was somebody to get kicked out as an extra one, I would say, I'm not predicting it, but I'm just saying, if there was an extra one to be kicked out, I would kick out Ryan Coogler for Kluber Mendoza Filo. That would be who I kick out, just because
You'd kick out Coogler before Del Toro. Yeah, just
correct.
Okay.
Correct. He is beloved. He's a multiple Oscar winner. That is a technical marvel that's walking in the door with three wins potentially on that night. And it is the more traditional film as opposed to what Sinners is going for. And it's not about quality at that point. It's just what I think that branch and the respectability of Del Toro is something you cannot ignore. And he's a member of the Academy. People love him. And I think that, when he's in a room with people, they flock to him. And it doesn't matter if we like the film or not. People flock to Guillermo del Toro because he's one of those people that they know love cinema and they love him. Just it.
It's just interesting that it's interesting to talk about Frankenstein and Sinners as these two films, like really just in this category too, because they're both horror. They are both, I think, they're really strong technically. If you look at Sinners too, you could say score, cinematography, possibly. It's competing really, I think, high up there in sound, a couple of technical categories really. And I think Sinners has more of a cultural impact than Frankenstein does though, but Frankenstein is far more traditional. So it's really
kind of
this
classier in their
classical,
mind.
I mean,
yeah.
But also, I will say the numbers for Frankenstein on the platform were insane. It's way that it is rebounded and over from its Venice premiere in Telluride to win, or not win, but be one of the films that was in the TIFF Audience Award winners.
It was the runner-up, wasn't it?
It was the runner-up to Hamnet.
Yeah.
And it's played so well on the platform on Netflix. Their numbers, they like to tout when their movies do well there. They don't like to tout them when they don't. And that was insane numbers when it premiered there, as well as also it did really well in the theaters. The point where I think they're going to be putting it back in for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
It's coming back.
So
it's in there right now.
So
for a week.
That movie is extremely popular. I don't necessarily think that they have to split from one another. It's not my final predictions, but I just do think that it is a more traditional film that the Academy would go for than Sinners. And Del Toro is a former winner and a member of the Academy. And
the one thing I'll say about
that matters
is that when with Pinocchio, not that I think Del Toro is win competitive here this year, but with Pinocchio, one of the big narratives was that this was a lifelong journey story for him to tell. And that same narrative is back again with Frankenstein, which is sort of like, all right, we kind of did this.
2 bites of the apple.
Yeah. I'm like, what's the next movie? Something that you've wanted to make all your life and is very personal?
No, he's only been wanting to make it for a couple months. Like somebody animal.
I just wonder.
He missed the long list for BAFTA. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's really kicking me out.
No, sure, but with BAFTA long list, they have 5 spots for male directors, 5 spots for female directors. I mean, like, we're talking about like a House of Dynamite and Die My Love.
The Oscars will be 4 men and 1 woman.
Exactly.
Or 5
if
men.
We're lucky. Yeah, I was about to say.
Or 5 men, which is very possible. I know that also we've been worried about with the guilds, how Hamnet's been performing there.
Underperforming.
It's underperforming there.
is what you want to say.
Well, no,
That
I'm
is
not.
the
I'm not
truth.
trying to say it. I think
No, that's the truth. It's been underperforming.
Yeah.
And so it also brings into question her vulnerability. But I don't know. I go with that. They do love their favorites sometimes, and they get in for shit they shouldn't get into sometimes. And
Yeah, he can get in. Like, he's my number 8 right now, but like equal chance as
if he got in, nobody would be
else.
like, oh, well, then they just love Guillermo
Yeah.
del Toro. You know what I mean? It's like not that
I
they're
would.
not the same thing. I mean, but it's like some people
Like,
would
I'm not
argue
rooting for that nomination either, but
some people would argue in 2021 that when Denis Villeneuve wasn't in there and Licorice Pizza got in, that you could just make that argument that they say they just love Paul Thomas Anderson. That's a fact, because they'll nominate him for anything at that point.
And
And
PTA is getting in here.
exactly. So like
Yeah.
that's where the same kind of logic is that, that's a lot of new faces and so it's a good mix of that. But I think that both and that's where I think Safdie, that movie, like, yes, it's his solo kind of directorial film from his brother, and it's this big thing. But I think Timmy has taken so much of the oxygen from that film
Shocker.
that that I think that takes a little bit away from him. And I just think that those other directors have better achievements, and that's where I think Del Toro gets a little bit of the edge from him, along with Zhao Kugler, PTA, and Trier. But what if there's a world where all three of the international people get in? And that's a
think it
world
could
that we
happen.
could live in still.
It could happen.
It could absolutely happen.
And
I don't know. I think Marty Supreme is such a directed film, but that does speak to the DGA probably a little bit more. And I mean, DJ is a very, very large group and also includes television directors.
yeah,
Not just film like the film branch does. But yeah, that's kind of the thing that I sort of keep coming back to with this. And even in 2026, these voters often, if it's not a white male director, they have to coalesce around the woman that's the most popular in this conversation, or the international directors that have the most attention or popularity in that conversation. So it's because we have so many, the factors are going to be really different. And I do think that the Globes happening the night before the opening of Oscar voting is potentially pretty
big,
crucial and very good for The Secret Agent. But, sometimes people already have their choices made. They're ready.
yeah.
So on January 12th, they were locked in, and things that happened at the Globes had no impact whatsoever. And I mean, you know how I feel also about anonymous ballots, and
I know.
I do not subscribe to
I don't
them
even know
as
halftime if they're real or not. Like,
that part too. So the things that I kind of wanted to gear towards were the other pieces that were, hey, we talked to 50 directors, the IndieWire thing, and here's the titles and the names that kept coming up. And obviously the top there was,
One
Battle in PTA and Sentimental Value and Joachim Trier. Very low on the list was Hamnet and Chloe Zhao. So I have to consider that as a real possibility that she's not getting in. There's just, you kind of just have to look at every factor. And then again, once we have the
once
names,
we have the fines, then we'll know.
Then we can just reverse engineer it.
Yeah, exactly. No, because we'll have those 5 names, and then there will be I think we can say this. There will be a big miss on here that we're, that
there has to be.
There has to be at this point, and we'll be telling the tape next week about it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be one where we're just kind of like, how did that not coalesce? How did that not happen? Because all 8 of these they feel like director nominees. They do, given their year, given the love for their films, given the campaigns that they've run, narratives that have been built for them throughout the season. I mean, Coogler's had a narrative, Chloe's had a narrative, PTA's has his narrative. All the international directors have his. I mean, Eric stated the childhood narrative for Del Toro. Safdie going on his own and doing this. That's a narrative within itself. There's a ton to factor in, but I think that's where we will hold that, and hopefully none of us are moving things over the last 24 hours before the nominations.
Oh, I have moved Philo in and out of my lineup throughout this entire conversation.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what to do.
I think the other thing, Josh, about Secret Agent was like, I don't want to overdo it because of the fact that, like, I also just think about it. I'm still here, and it got where it got last year, and going beyond
but it's
that.
doing better than I'm still
I know
here
it is. I know it is.
And it was last year.
But it's also like,
it's a good movie too.
I'd rather be safe. You know what I mean? And then
But it won Best Director at Cannes. Like,
it's such a directorial flex.
That's the other thing is Neon has touted it all season long as it's the winningest film from the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
Which says something about like how they're marketing this against their two other damn films in the race that won awards. So it's
we got to just move on because
we got to move on. I got to move on.
Now.
Sorry,
we got to move on.
We're going to be talking. We could talk about this for 2 hours.
That was always going to be the toughest one. We got to move because we're not solving it right now.
All right, Eric, best cinematography.
Oh my God! Speaking of
tough ones.
Oh my God! Yeah. This category.
It's only fitting that we went from
really
this to
upset.
And to give it to Eric too is rude.
It's this hurts. This category hurts me a lot because obviously, I want Hamnet to be in here. It deserves it. It's an absolutely gorgeous film. But it missed both the American and British Society of Cinematographers. And when Wuka Shaw has gotten in before, he got in both of those first. So for him to then suddenly jump over 5 other people would take a pretty big feat. So, either Hamnet is going to underperform overall, or it's going to kind of hit exactly where we thought that it would, a month ago. At the moment, I have it at 6. I hope that it gets in. What I have in instead is Sinners, One Battle, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, and Train Dreams.
The ASC 5.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And, with that group, they have a sliding scale. It can be like last year when they had 8 or whatever.
A Complete Unknown and Wicked.
And Wicked, for fuck's sake.
Well, I have One Battle After Another, Sinners, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, Train Dreams. I have the same thing.
So do I. Yeah.
So do I. The ASC 5.
I have the ASC 5. That's a dangerous thing.
But
but it's also a really good predictor. Every point that Eric made is pretty straight on. This category feels now a little bit more wide open after like CCA went with Train Dreams and a lot of the critics picks.
But then that missed BSC, which then made me nervous. I'm still nervous about Train Dreams.
No, I am too. But it felt like we were just
missed BSC.
Yeah,
that feels like crazier.
It felt like we were in a Sinners sweep of the season, and then it sort of seems now we're a little bit more open in the conversation with this. We'll see how the guilds play out here over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's where we stand. Any other films? I mean, those were 6. Any other films like you want? I mean, this might be a place if Secret Agent could get into. Maybe, I don't know.
That's not on the.
It's not on. No. Oh, it's not on the list, right? That's right. I'm sorry.
Because they have a short list.
Yeah, we have a short list now. That's right.
I mean, Song Blue is getting in before the Secret Agent here. Think about that.
That's crazy.
Really.
We don't really.
You do have Die My Love, that BSC nominee, BAFTA long list, Seamus McGarvey. Like, I think that's something to consider.
They do.
You got
love
Nouvelle Vague,
BSC
our black and white option. And the other one I'm keeping an eye on, I don't think it's happening, but just like in the back of my mind, actually is Sound of Falling. because it was the runner-up for the Camarage Award, and sometimes that has given us nominees there. So,
That'd
like
be
I
a
said, I don't think it's
wild
happening, but
nom.
like in my 10, I have it in. But
It'd be
I don't
very
think
well
right now I'm
deserved.
shaking.
It would be very well deserved. It would be a
Oh,
wild
very much
nom
so.
because it's not probably going to get an international feature, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
would
it
be
would be,
great.
but I couldn't put it in my 10 without getting like anything at all. Anything
Okay.
at all. Even like Nouvelle Vague is as really kind of the sole black and white representation, just really nothing that has like nothing. So
Okay. Next category is my category, and this is the one I've been stressing out for the last couple of days on, actually, guys. It's Best Supporting Actress.
Oh
oh,
God.
I feel good about.
All right. God damn it. So before we got on this podcast, I had made a change. I think it's more of a safe change. I'll talk about some alternatives I think could really, really be spoiler. But as of right now, I have recent Golden Globe winner Tiana Taylor. I have Amy Madigan. I have Inga Isdottir Lilias for Sentimental Value. I have Odessa Azan for Marty Supreme. And I'm going to keep her in for now. But this conversation could change me for good. I have Ariana Grande in for right now.
Wow, that's an amazing variety of choices you have, Ryan.
Yes, it is. I don't think I don't think that there are going to be a film that gets two in this year. So I don't think both of the Sentimental Value girls are getting it. I think Elle Fanning's out of this at this point.
Yeah.
Her miss at SAG and on the BAFTA long list tells you exactly what they thought about her.
Especially at SAG, because like she doesn't speak a word of dialogue that isn't in English in that
Yeah.
movie, and no.
Well, she's just waiting
Like
by
if
that
she had gotten in and everyone else snubbed, that would have been so fucked.
funny. Yeah, but
It would have
also
been funny though. Yeah,
she's just
Yeah.
waiting by the
Yes.
fence, like in
She's
A
still
Complete
there.
Unknown. She's still there.
waiting
She's
for that
staying
plate to
there.
drop.
Exactly. I want to hear what everybody else has to say. So Sophia, you're five.
Okay, so I have Tiana Taylor, Amy Madigan, Inga Ibsdottir Lilias, Wunmi Masaku, and then I'm doing something fun. I'm putting in Miss Gwyneth Paltrow for Marty Supreme,
I knew it.
just because I'm gonna try to reason through this.
Okay.
This category has so many things that are up in the air to me. Like there's just a lot of confusion. And for this final spot, I was truly between Gwyneth and Emily Watson.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been talking about this
Because
for a while.
there is just this thing to me sometimes that they do in the supporting categories where they will pluck a veteran and they will put them in, and you just think, where did that come from? I probably will change this, but I just felt like it was a fun and spicy thing to do today on this show. Gwyneth is a former nominee, and or former winner, sorry, Best Actress. And we have this thing that happens sometimes where they do a little switcheroo, and we think it's going to be the new young person who's never been nominated before who gets in, and it's actually the veteran from the movie. So instead of Odessa, who got in at SAG, we're going to do a little Belfast flip here. And I'm going to put Gwyneth in. I'm acknowledging, though, that this is very unlikely. I don't think any pundit has this predicted anywhere.
That's not true. That's not true. I was listening to Perry Nemiroff's show with Scott Mance, and Jeff the Insnider predicted this to happen. So you
Oh,
and him
no.
are in wonderful company.
Incredible company, Sophia.
Wow,
I've
okay,
watched
I gotta change
everything
it
to
then.
prepare for this.
Okay,
I know
we're
all
gonna-
this.
We're going to go with Emily Watson then. I'm switching.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay. I
I
will
can't be
say
in company with him.
that's fair. That's fair.
But
So
Paltrow actually does make a lot of sense, especially as that, like, we think it's a younger person and it'll be the veteran. Because the other thing about Odessa, though, is I feel like so many people are making the comparison of her and Monica Barbaro last year. I think that's where
Right.
most of this is coming from. And I don't think that is a one-to-one comparison with
I
Odessa
don't think so either,
because
Josh.
Yeah, because Monica Barbaro was playing a real person. She was singing. It was a much more traditional role that would get nominated. And I like Odessa in that movie, but it is not quite the same. And I do get nervous that so many people are predicting her just because they're making
Hmm.
a comparison to last year. And I don't think that's exactly the same in
Yeah.
this category.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go back to Gwyneth, but just know that I'm mad at the
Yeah.
information you shared with me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Josh, you're five.
So my five, I have Taylor, Madigan, Lilius. I I think I'm gonna put in Lumley. I don't feel great about it. I do still feel kind of odd, but I think I'm gonna have her in, and I think I'm doing Grande.
I just don't think
Yeah.
that everything about that movie has kind of fallen apart, but she's the constant that's been there. She showed up. She's been a good sport. She's been at those losing tables the last couple of weekends. And I just don't the number one praise for that movie was her. Not the costumes, not Cynthia, not any of that stuff, not even the damn songs when we get to that. It was her. And I don't think and we all know she's not winning this thing. But it just feels like we all are like, I think we don't want her in because we would like somebody more interesting in to get in, but
Or an actual supporting
an
actress
actual
in a
supporting
movie too.
performance.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I just think that she's not one of those that misses, after getting pretty much. I think she'll get BAFTA nominated as well when it's all said and done. But who knows? She did last year, so and yeah, I am worried about Wumi Musaka. I am. I'm worried about her because of this is a BAFTA long list thing as opposed to did she get in the lineup for BAFTA? Now, BAFTA I believe is six, right? It's six.
Yeah.
Again, so that's
Hmm.
another thing. It's just like if these actors get in, it's for six, and so that's where I also struggle with it as well. We'll talk about that also a little bit with supporting actor too here in a little bit, but yeah, I just worry about her getting in there, and I understand what you're coming from, Sophia, to be all serious and talk about Paltrow for a second. Like, I get what you're saying there. No, I'm being serious. Like,
Yeah.
I get that,
No,
but
I love that prediction. I kind of want to
Thank
do it
you.
myself, but I
yeah,
don't know if I can.
but
But
I
it's a
just
really
think
good prediction.
I
I
do
like
think
it.
Odessa had like the newcomer factor into the lineup, and has done well in terms of precursors, and she was long listed as well, if I'm not mistaken, for
They
BAFTA.
both were,
They
yeah.
both
Hmm.
were, and
Yeah.
so I could see that switch happening. I just I feel like this one is more likely to just stay there, considering the fact that she's also in the emotional crux of that ending of the film there too, and all those decisions there by the end of Marty Supreme. But Paltrow, that's a good pull.
The
Yeah.
comeback story. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no,
I
that's
love the
no,
Hmm.
it's
performance.
Yeah.
She's my preferred performance in Marty Supreme.
yeah. But Eric, you're five.
So the Paltrow thing is really interesting because if it weren't, this category is going to be full of history and stats when we have the actual nominations. I can't wait for it. If it weren't for Amy Madigan, Paltrow getting in would be, I would almost say a lock because otherwise it's going to be all first timers most likely. And that just doesn't happen in this category, hasn't in I think it was 40 plus years. But Madigan obviously kind of erases that. The only thing about it is that her nomination was almost 40 years ago, and she has obviously veteran status, but the name checkability of Paltrow could be very, very compelling. Um, the thing about Grande and the thing about this category as well, it's the only acting category in Oscar history to not have an actress nominated for playing the same character twice. All the other categories have had this. This has not had it yet. This obviously is the best chance in quite a while for that to happen for Grande. Uh, it definitely could. She is a lead even over Arrivo in screen time in this sequel.
Easily.
So her getting in makes a lot of sense. And yeah, if she does, it'll erase that. And now all, categories will have a repeat nominee here. However, I have her at 6. I do think that Wicked for Good is going to falter quite a bit, regardless of its 8 shortlist mentions. I just feel like that's going to happen. Missing PGA obviously was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
She definitely has the best chance, because when we just talked about Best Actress at the top of this podcast, who did we not even mention?
Cynthia
We didn't.
Erivo.
She wasn't even in that conversation. That says something. It either says that we're all idiots and it's going to happen, or she's not in the conversation because the movie is just not in the same place as the first one was.
I mean,
last
she didn't
year.
show up at SAG. She missed the Critics' Choice, which feels like a slam dunk nomination for a group that like head over heels goes hard in the paint for those movies. Like it won't probably happen at BAFTA. It wasn't surprising.
Yeah.
to not
So
have a conversation about her in there.
with that, I do also agree that Elle Fanning is pretty, lower on this
Yeah.
this group than maybe she would have been before. If Hamnet were to be an over performer, Emily Watson would make total sense then as that sort of kind of person.
I've been saying that since Telluride, that feels like that weird. That's
I wish that would be great. I would love
she
that.
got BAFTA long listed.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy thing.
That was
to get,
pretty
though,
easy get,
for her. That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I love that. Like Paltrow, Watson are wonderful examples of small supporting performances that really should kind of be closer to what this is about.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I've landed on Teyana Taylor, Amy Madigan, Wumi Masako, Inga Ibsar Lilius, and Odessa Azion.
Okay. Yeah. I think the thing about Grande, last thing real quick, and why I still have her in, even though I love nothing more than to have one of these other wonderful performances in, is that it was kind of deemed from the beginning when this whole movie was coming out that it's her Oscar to lose. It's her kind of performance. Like, this is the one for her. And, everybody went head over heels and over predicting that shit. And what I think is that it's not the same comp, but it kind of gives me like Amanda Seyfried and Mank vibes, where she was that early front runner that everybody was just like, if that's going to happen, it's going to be there in an acting category. And it kind of, that movie waned in terms of how much support it had, but she still got in. Now, obviously, different films, different type of performances. This is a sequel, all those stats that you mentioned there, Eric. But there does feel like the sense of like, she's like in third or fourth. I don't think she's been vulnerable because she hasn't missed. Cynthia's missed. The film's missed. All this other stuff has happened where it has not gotten into places, but she's been fine. So that's why I think like she'll be okay. She'll get in. And then I think that, the question is that, I think after the European Film Awards and the SAG nominations, I think Inga's the right one to kind of go there. And then your last one is, it's one of the ladies from Marty Supreme. Is it Woomy? I'm very skeptical about that one still. Is it Emily Watson? Who the hell else could it be? I don't think there's anybody else that we could mention.
I mean, if One Battle overperforms, maybe Regina Hall gets in.
That would be the Maria de Trevera kind of nomination on the morning. PTA did shout her out that she wasn't there at the Globes, but still, because she was sick. But yeah, she's been getting she got a lot of prizes this year, and they campaigned as those three women all season long. Would have loved to just see her get into something, but it really has, just all that support has gone straight to Teyana Taylor in that category.
Well, but if it is, like, that's a good sign that she's winning if she
Oh,
can
I mean,
bring
yeah.
another supporting actress across the finish line with her.
Well, sure, Josh, but then you'll have those people that'll be saying for weeks that, that there's no way that Tiana Taylor could win then at that point because of vote splitting. And then we'll have those stupid conversations.
Yeah, but
Um,
those people don't matter.
I know,
Yeah.
Eric. I'm just kidding.
They're not voters.
Exactly.
Yeah. The other thing, you did mention this, Ryan, like I kind of feel like why I'm landing on Grande is because I think sometimes when you have somebody who has been in like a front runner position for so long, even when their movie starts to deflate, because they've had this kind of specter of being safe for a while, they just end up sliding into that lineup anyway, where they're not winning anymore, but they were out far ahead so long that it's just like, well, you still barely get into the lineup because we've been thinking about you all the time anyway.
That's why she's getting in all these damn critics groups. Like,
Yeah.
the critics groups, they don't like the film, but yet she's still getting nominated, like left and right. So, it is what it's just my observation.
But this is my six.
I just wanted
will say.
Paltrow.
No, I get it. If
I
you're
love
right,
it.
it's you and someone else.
Yeah.
If you're right, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, Sophia, you're up next, I believe.
Okay.
Best actor.
Okay. Oh, this is a fun one. It's a hard one.
Yes, it is.
I think it's deceptively tricky. I have Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Wagner Moura, Michael B. Jordan, and Jesse Plemons. I have Ethan Hawke missing for Blue Moon.
Let's have this conversation. All right, let's do it. Josh Parham.
I went with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have Ethan Hawke in. I have Jesse Plemons at 6. So it's hard for me to not predict something though that is from Sony Pictures Classics. I mean, they are just master campaigners. I understand that that movie is not going to have like a great showing at other places, but I just feel like they know who to show that movie to. And I think with Ethan Hawke just being so well respected, I still feel like I have to put him in that lineup. I have Jesse Plemons right at number 6. To me, the vulnerable one actually is Michael B. Jordan.
That's
I
correct.
still feel like there's something that is telling me that is not safe, even though he has done very well this season. But I just can't shake this feeling of being weird about it. But I don't feel enough to drop him completely. So I still have him in. But I think if Plemons is replacing anybody, I have a feeling it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. But I don't have that happening right now. So at the moment, it's Chalamet, DiCaprio, Mora, Hawke, and Jordan. That's my 5.
Eric.
Okay, fun category. Just wrote my piece and predictions on it today,
Hey, well, looky
which
there.
is chock full of detail stats and really fun stuff and things, as we need to properly recognize stats, they can also be very anecdotal and we can't be rigid to their existence. It's definitely how I used to be. I was always just, you hit your guild, you hit your mark, and you're in, and that's it. And it was actually back in the day a little easier to do that. There were fewer variables and fewer crazy snubs. So the Michael B. Jordan thing, I absolutely get. I actually took a really long time to even put him in my top 5 because
Same.
and really just kind of with Sinners in general. It took me a while to get there because I needed more than, the cacophony of fans that really liked the movie. And I needed to see the industry support it like wholeheartedly. And it really has. So it's kind of all there. And like using him specifically, him, Chalamet, DiCaprio, have everything that they need, including being in the SAG ensemble. So like the tidbit from here is that since 2010, 17 actors have hit all these precursors, all 17 have gotten in. Him missing would be such an exceptional miss, maybe even more than Coogler at this stage. So it would be hard for me to see him not get in. The Wagner Moura thing is what's really fascinating and exceptional at the same time. because being the Globe winner puts him in Jim Carrey territory as far as not being an Oscar nominee as a drama Globe winner. Uh, Before that, it's Omar Sharif. So you really, really have to dig in. Obviously, this is an exception because it's a non-English language performance. But I'm not really going to. I think last year was such a great blueprint for this year. So I don't think that I'm going to not predict Wagner Moura to get in. So if we've got Chalamet, DiCaprio, Jordan, and Moura, who is that fifth? Is it Ethan Hawke? Is it Jesse Plemons? Is it Joel Edgerton? I'm going with Ethan Hawke for a few reasons. Very respected actor, hit all the precursors. But then there's this weird one, which is not a stat exactly, but it's something that has kind of happened. The last time that we've had a lineup of nominated actors in all four categories where no one was playing an LGBTQ character, real or fictional, was 2016, film year 2016. Every year since then, in at least one category, there has been. And Ethan Hawke is the only person really in contention for that to happen. So I don't know. Again, anecdotal, not anything other than that. But something.
So this is how Ben Whishaw gets nominated for Peter Hujar's Day, is what you're telling me.
He should be here.
Here we go.
I just want to chime in quickly,
go.
just because I didn't say like really my explanation. I think for kicking Ethan Hawke out or putting Jesse Plemons in, I put Plemons in because I have Stone in. And I feel like they're both, if it's not one or the other, I think it's both or none. Like I've always just kind of seen it that way in my head for that film.
And I don't have Stone in, so
it
would make sense for me to have him out too.
The one thing about Hawke too is he is playing a real person, and that also does help. So that's where I'm kind of stuck. So I could see this really flipping either way for me down to the wire.
I think with this in so many categories, the 5, 6, 7, those three are absolutely just playing this roulette game with each other.
Yeah.
In so many categories.
I have Timothy Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Wagner Moura. I do have Michael B. Jordan in. I agree with that. I saw that stat earlier in the week, Eric, and I was like, yeah. But it would not surprise me if it was like a Margot Robbie-esque Barbie miss. That, though, she had the producer nom to go there so that could at least justify her not being in that lineup.
A little bit.
Soften the blow. This does not have that.
Margot Robbie had only won the Australian Academy Award and the fucking HCA.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
Michael B. Jordan is like now the leader of critics' wins.
I don't know if that's true. I think Chalamet might have pulled ahead, hasn't he? At a certain point,
the last couple of weeks have been so sinners heavy with regionals.
That makes sense.
Wild.
Well, they both also have won the HCA, so I hope you put that down in your spreadsheets there. That's really just.
I feel like it's a curse.
I feel like
blessing.
Well,
no. I mean, is Indy the dog campaigning?
Consider
Indy the dog.
He's in my 10 spot.
He beat Ethan Hawke, so actually maybe I should
there you go.
Out of here.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Don't get you started. I think this is that I hear you, Sophia, on Plemons. I actually think Plemons is the best part of that film, and he's pretty great. Previous nominee for Power of the Dog, but Hawke has had this narrative, and I go to. He has the Telluride Medallion this year. He has Sony Pictures Classics supporting him. Richard Linklater has had 2 films, and this seems to be the one that's really pushing him. He was on Colbert. He was on the Today Show. He has been doing countless campaigning in the last 2 weeks since. He has been talking. He had the sound clip of that he's working on another film with Linklater, and that it's the greatest film that they've ever made, and that they'll be back in a couple of years talking about it. And it really, and I also think this too. I also think Ethan Hawke had a conversation on Awards Watch, and sometimes those Best Actor nominees, they come and knocking over here at Awards Watch, and they usually get in. We've had a really good track record the last couple of years, and we didn't talk to Jesse Plemons, but we talked to him. Now, if there was a 6, I actually entertain more of the idea of Joel Edgerton, not only because he also had a conversation at awardswatch.com with yours truly, but because of the fact that I also feel like Clint Bentley and him have been campaigning together this entire season. And that film is, it's a beautiful film. It's we'll talk about adapted screenplay. We talked about the cinematography, but Edgerton's performance is central to that film working. And I think that it's garnered the most acclaim of his career. And so I think also too, that's kind of Netflix's big push in the category. They stunk the bed when it came with Jay Kelly. And then of course, they're not going to get Oscar Isaac, and no matter how great Frankenstein's done, this is their Oscar play. And then they couldn't even figure out who their damn lead of Wake Up Dead Man was. So I think that this is their big play for that. They were doing a lot of billboards. They were doing a lot of pushing at the last second. He was doing interviews or Q&As with Cate Blanchett and doing a ton of different things the last week as well. There was a lot of campaigning in the last week and a half. And so I think he's 6, but I have Ethan Hawke in there right now. There's also this online, I know online doesn't matter, but also a lot of critics and people that we spoke to as well. It's like, it's starting to feel like at a certain point we're going to honor Ethan Hawke with an Oscar. He's one of these actors that I just don't feel like will walk away empty-handed down the road. I don't think it'll be with this one, but that he'll win. But I do think that he's garnered a ton of praise for this thing, from all the way from Berlin to Telluride to Toronto to everywhere in the regionals. So that's where I landed on those 5. If Michael B. Jordan does get kicked out, which I don't think he'll get kicked out at this point, then I do think the next person up would be, for me, Edgerton. Because Plemons also missed at CCA when they did that. Like, Stone got in there. That's a 6. I know it's CCA. I know it's. Yeah.
And why would Edgerton miss SAG when they love Netflix movies and the Alphabet?
That's
Alphabet
true.
Listing would have helped him over Plemons.
And the Alphabet.
The Alphabet theory is bullshit. I hate it. They said, no, we want Plemons.
Yes.
We got all the way to P.
They did pick Miles Caton, though, in supporting actor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that drives me crazy. The
I don't know.
Drives me crazy.
I do think it's mostly bullshit, but the fact that
it's
they did go with Kate, that was like,
Eric, you and I would get in.
Yes, I'm always in like roll calls and whatever. It's like I'm always first.
Well, I'd be on the line. I'd be right there. I'm like right there in the middle.
Yeah,
I'd be right there. Just like,
I'm
do I have a
Sean
chance?
Penn over here.
Exactly.
Oh my
watch
God.
on, Josh. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move on. Anything else you guys want to say about actor? Anything else?
I think those are their only contenders.
I was just gonna say, I wish the Palm Springs awards were televised.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of his clip.
That Ethan Hawke gave, the full speech. That is a winner right there.
Yeah,
his speech is incredible. That room was on fire.
It was like watching Leo's speech at NBR. I watched like half of it because somebody put it on his phone. That was one of the best speeches he's ever given in his fucking life. And it's like, that's a winner speech, but instead we have to, think our partners.
Okay, all right. I know you can't pass up an opportunity to knock the man, but like, let's move on. Let's move on.
Hey, I'm not saying anything, good for the click commander. All right. Anyway.
Okay.
Josh.
Yeah.
Best sound.
Oh, thank
Go
God.
from actor to sound.
I was terrified I was about to get like best documentary. So Okay, best sound. All right. I got Sinners, F1, One Battle, Frankenstein, and Seurat.
Eric?
That's what I have.
Me
Sorry.
too. This
Yeah.
actually feels so easy.
Yeah. I,
It's maybe even maybe not. No, it
Mm.
feels easy. It feels
I
good.
had Avatar for a while, but that has been struggling with the sound
Mhm.
That
categories.
miss
It's
that
just,
miss MPSE for anemone.
yeah, that's,
Let's talk about that.
yeah.
It missed Foley at
Mhm.
MPSE.
yeah,
Get real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
so crazy that happened.
Surat's bringing the boom. That's what
yeah.
they do.
Mm-hmm.
I
They're
got
Blow it
blowing up
up.
this category.
blow it up. I got the same 5. We're all going 5 for 5 in that category. That's a
It just
really
seems like that's the five. Yeah, it
that's a
Yeah.
definitely
really
feels
easy
like
one.
that.
That's okay. Hey, sometimes we don't need to have a long conversation. Sometimes it just
Yeah.
is what it is.
We
Yeah,
needed one like that.
I think we're gonna have
yeah.
another one here. Eric, best adapted screenplay.
Okay, let's pop this in here. Actually, yeah, this feels I
Yeah,
feel
this is pretty safe.
really solid about this as well. One Battle, Hamnet, Train Dreams, Frankenstein, Begonia.
Anybody
Yep.
else got anything different than that?
Nope.
Nope.
No. And I don't see anything else that could. This is where all
Not
the
really.
one
Not
the
really.
no
Yeah.
other choice,
Like
people were going on and
maybe
on and
that's
on.
I do have it at six, but like I
But
don't
Josh,
know.
that movie has just done nothing this year.
I
I
know.
did
That's why I
receive a
don't have it
surprise
in.
bonsai tree this week. That was nice
You
for
received a
no
what?
other choice.
Really?
Yeah. It was
They're
very
still sending
strange.
things out for that?
I
That's
just
crazy.
received a live bonsai tree.
Oh,
That's
Great. Now you're
amazing.
like, great. Now
Hmm.
I got to take
It's
care of it.
great. And my cat won't eat it actually, which is good.
There you go. I
Yeah.
know it's a very easy category to pick.
Hmm.
It's crazy that
yeah.
Frankenstein, the number one problem that all of us have, I think mostly with that film is its screenplay, and that son of a gun's gonna get
One
in
of
there.
many issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Eric, you just did adapted screen. So it's back to me. It's best adapted screen, or I'm sorry, best animated feature. Best animated feature. I think this one would
Mm.
be pretty easy too. I have K-pop Demon Hunters, Tutopia. I got Arco. I got Little Amelie, and I got Elio. Those are my 5.
Yep.
Anybody else? Anybody got anything
That's what I
different?
have.
Eric?
What was yours again? Same again?
I got wait, one more time from the top. One more time. All right.
Oh
K-pop
my
Demon
God.
Hunters, Tutopia, Arco, Little Amelie, Elio.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, even though I have it at 7, I'm sort of keeping an eye out for Demon Slayer,
Mm-hmm.
TGA, and Daft a Long List.
Mm.
Interesting.
Something's cooking there.
I just threw in Pixar. I had Demon Slayer in there for a little
Yeah.
bit, and I was like, God, it's Pixar. It's weirdly
No,
making itself in there.
it's gotten everything.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
Critics'
it's
Choice,
Yeah.
Golden Globe, PGA, BAFTA Long List.
yeah, it's
It's the
in.
only Pixar. It
Yeah,
should be.
and we
That would
know
be
there's like a Pixar voting block within the
absolutely.
Academy too. So
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's definitely number five, but I think it'll get in just by
Yep,
default.
yeah.
agreed.
Eric, what's that sequel with Jason Bateman and Jennifer Goodwin animated feature? What's it called?
What, the bad guys too?
No, the what
What?
that's going to get
Which
nominated
one?
here? Zootopia.
Zootropolis too.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, Zootropolis as that's what it's
So the
called
UK
But it's
says.
also called
in BAFTA land.
Eric. Will you call it
Mhm.
Zootopia?
I'm not going to call it
Damn it!
Zootopia.
I thought any of you
Sorry.
guys? Anybody? No.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
No.
you
No.
guys are no fun. All right, Sophia, best visual effects.
Okay. This is a tricky one near
This is
the
a little
end.
tricky one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have Avatar Fire and Ash, F1, Superman, The Lost Bus. Didn't think we'd say that title again, but here we are. And I went with Tron Ares as my number 5, just as a curveball, because I don't buy Sinners happening here.
Josh.
I do have that top four of Avatar, F1, Superman, and The Lost Bus, which they're going to now force me to watch this movie.
Hell yeah.
I was hoping I could avoid that fate, but I
Sophia
guess
and I
not.
had to watch it.
Oh, we saw it.
Yeah.
Sophia watched it with Jamie Lee Curtis right behind her.
I'll send you the picture, Josh, of
It's
me, my
wild.
selfie with Jamie Lee Curtis sitting behind me.
Yeah, and I do have Sinners, but it feels like that one category that they miss to prevent them from breaking the record. It absolutely does feel like that. But I don't know what else to really go with. Like, I think Tron absolutely makes sense because, it's just visual effects. I know that Jurassic World has not hit in the five yet, and I would not feel great about predicting it. And again, take with a grain of salt what you hear. But apparently, there were some very impressive things they showed at the Bake Off that make me think, well, something to keep an eye out. And it
It was
did make
Jonathan
it in
Bailey.
at
They
VAS.
just showed him off there at the Baker.
Yeah.
I mean, that's visual effect right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. With Sinners for me, the reason I didn't put it in is because it missed the BAFTA long list, and
Yeah.
BAFTA's friendlier to Best Picture nominees than the Academy is in this category. So it feels like a big miss for it. But Frankenstein's here. So that's another potential
Yeah.
option too.
Yeah. Eric?
The thing about Tron movies is that they don't get in, and it's weird that they don't because they should,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
effects are so beautiful and seamless. The Jurassic World thing, I will probably never predict one of the films to get in, no matter what it does with VES, because they just don't. I feel actually really good about Sinners in just kind of reading a little bit about the Bake Off stuff, but the creation of the Michael B. Jordan twins, which is
Yeah.
both the camera rig that they had married with the visual effects, I think that's pretty impressive. The thing, I have Lost Bus at number 3, and I actually feel terrible about that placement. I should have it at 5, because even with the BAFTA long list mention and the 4 VES nominations that it got,
Insane.
it feels like the one that's the trick that we all are kind of looking at, like, oh, it's going to get in, and it's the one that actually doesn't. But I mean, again, the word of mouth on the photorealism of the trees and forest and fire was really, really strong. But
Pretty
then,
ridiculous.
what about something because also they love terrible movies in here. The one thing about this
they
branch
do.
that I love is that they do not give a shit about the quality of the movie. They are there to recognize what they feel is the best of their artisanship, and I love that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So something like The Electric State, one of the worst movies
Fuck.
ever.
No.
Robots too. They love robots.
See that I can't that
You
means
can't
I'd
do
have
it.
to watch it.
I have to watch
That's
it.
another one. Yeah.
I've avoided it all year.
It is unbearable. It is so bad.
You think?
Yes, with my movie star draft pick, Millie Bonnie Bon Jovi.
There you go.
Yeah. But I landed on Avatar, F1, Lost Bus, Sinners, and Superman.
Okay. So I have Avatar, F1, Lost Bus. Yuck. Superman. And I've been going back and forth between Frankenstein and Sinners. Sinners missing at BAFTA. You're right, Sophia. Like that was a big miss.
Did
But
Black Panther?
I think so. I
Well,
think it did.
not the first Black Panther.
Not the first one. The second one
did.
The second one.
Yeah, because the first Black Panther.
The second one didn't
BAFTA.
win visual effects.
Yeah.
Avatar won. No, wait. No, Avatar did. No, not
No,
that year.
no, it was. Yeah, that was.
Oh, it was
22.
Avatar. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But what was it? Frankenstein did not do well, right? If I'm not mistaken, with the
It got
kills,
completely blanked at VES. Nothing.
Yeah.
Got nothing.
which is insane. So and Sinner
Is it,
showed
though?
up. I mean, it's not.
Or is it deserved?
It's been a really rough year for visual effects. I'm just gonna say it. Like,
Uh-huh.
if we're
Yeah.
talking about the Lost Bust for visual effects,
Oh my God.
People, you need to get your shit together. Like it's that wind is terrible in that film. Like the first
I'll
20
take
minutes.
your word for it because I haven't seen it.
Josh, I'm just going to tell you, it starts literally from the opening scene, and you just, it's almost
After
M. Night
January
Shyamalan.
22nd, I will probably have seen The Lost Bus because I will have been forced to.
It is M.
It
Night
is
Shyamalan, The Happening
awful.
level terrible.
It is awful.
At least that movie's
God.
like funny. I ultimately went with Frankenstein. I'm not sold on it. I think though there is something about like it is such a craftsman film. They've done a great job at showcasing this movie everywhere they've gone. From the time
mixture of like visual effects and practical
visual and
stuff,
practical,
yeah.
but there is one component to this why I think I might make the switch to Sinners is Del Toro's done the Nolan thing a little, where he has shit on the idea of we did this all practical and I didn't want any fucking CGI, and
that's why I have it out.
And there's a little bit of that, and the branch when they
that's
hear
why
that
the CGI
they get
in that movie
mad.
looks terrible.
Yeah, the wolves are not great.
The wolves.
Oh my God.
I think I'm going to switch to Sinners live here just because of that. But it's back and forth with it because I really do think that like Frankenstein's just going to run the gambit in getting into these technical categories. So yeah, it's really between those 6 films. Like I wish Tron Ares, which usually those Tron movies have really great.
I just can't. I don't.
The variety
there's
is
something
great.
About Sinners that just like doesn't feel right to me.
No, you're
but
right,
I also
Sophia.
don't think that that's right. So I don't. I'll probably end up switching. I might
What's
switch to Sinners, but it also doesn't feel good that it didn't get main category at VES either.
Mm-hmm.
What, Sinners?
No, it missed. It just got supporting.
Just got
support. So it's one of those things too. But then the dinosaurs also got in there, and those don't get in there at the Oscars.
Well,
the
then
dinosaurs.
How did
I mean, Sinners is not is different than Avatar and those movies, which are visual effects centric. So supporting is the only place it really was going to be able to get in.
Yeah. Maybe I'll switch to that. This one's a live decision.
This is it's tough. I mean, I think I would just.
I just thought Tron Ares was so great. Like the visual effects were so good. That's what I would vote for.
They're beautiful. It drives me crazy that they never get in.
No.
I think they're just gorgeous.
They both have dings against each other, both Frankenstein and Sinner. So it's gonna if you go against either one, I don't feel safe about it. I mean, this is where like if Mission Impossible would have just made the short list, I would just put that in there and I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I know it did. It didn't make sense that movie didn't get in here. It's so weird. Anyway, okay. Our next category. Just waiting. Hang on 1 second, and we're going to. It's to Josh, right? It's to Josh.
I think so. Yeah.
Josh, best documentary.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
There it is.
Another hard one for you.
You got it after all.
Yeah, I knew I tempted fate when I said that. All right. Okay. Well, first of all, there is the huge question mark about our front runner, The Perfect Neighbor, and whether or not you want to believe that that's getting nominated or not. I do have it in my lineup right now. Obviously, I don't feel good about it. But it just feels like it is so out front that it would feel weird to not have it in. So I could be talked out of it, but just for right now, I'm just gonna say the front runner is gonna be in my lineup. I'm just gonna say that. And then I've got 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Apocalypse in the Tropics, My Undesirable Friends. And then I got Cutting Through Rocks just as like a weird out of left field turn because they can do that. And I know that this branch in particular really loves the like international documentaries. They go real heavy on that. And I was looking through what was on this short list as to what could maybe fill that spot. So I just landed there. So I don't know. That's what I'm just going to go with.
This is
Eric?
such a tricky category.
Eric?
So I am one of those that will not predict the perfect neighbor. Um, I will not predict. There's too much history from this branch. A branch that likes what they like and hates what they hate. They're also a huge branch. There's more than 700 members. But what they really do not like are documentaries that are all archival footage. And it doesn't matter if you are the front runner, because Apollo 11 or 13, whichever one that was, absolutely dominated its year, dominated, and got the short list, but did not make the final five. I think most of the time that branch sees really, really well done archival footage documentaries as director and editor driven films. And, The Perfect Neighbor got a Critics' Choice nomination for editing. Great nomination. I think documentaries deserve more attention than just this category, and editing is definitely one of them. But I am not going to pick a movie that is both archival footage and the Critics' Choice winner
I get it. Yeah.
until proven wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. It's my number 6 for that reason. But I, mm,
I get it.
I
I do. Like I'm not
it's
predicting
so
it with
hard.
confidence either. Like it is either winning or it is not nominated. Like that are the two
Yeah,
options for this movie.
it is. It's very much like if it gets in, it's winning
Yeah.
for sure once we get
Hmm.
to the body at large being able to vote. But that's why this branch can be really petty and
Yeah.
really they've just proven it so many times. And if it gets in, then it's there, and it will break that curse. But it is a curse right now that is pretty stiff. So
Sophie?
I have Cover Up, I have 2,000 Meters, I have Apocalypse, I have my Undesirable Friends, because if any group is going to watch a 5.5 hour documentary, it will be this branch, and Mr. Nobody Against Putin.
Sophia?
I have the same 5 as Eric. Um,
Oh, wow.
that doesn't feel great. I have The Perfect Neighbor at number 6.
I love how
For
that sounds. It's
this,
like, oh, I hate being aligned with.
I hate aligning. This is a different example though than supporting actress. Um, I think for me, My Undesirable Friends, that that one was one where I almost kicked it out for a while and didn't put it in just because of the length and how daunting it feels. But if anyone, like you said, is going to watch it, it's going to be this branch. I thought about putting Come See Me in the Good Light here too as a possibility, but that I feel like that's my number 7. I don't know. I think like Mr. Nobody Against Putin, that to me, when I saw the title and just where it's appeared, getting in on the PGA list and also
Mhm.
the BAFTA long list, topical, that felt right. And the other 3, Cover Up, 2,000 Meters, and Apocalypse in the Tropics, those were always safe to me. Watch one of them miss now. But that's where I am right now. That's where I am right now.
I have trying to find it. I have oh, that is not my updated predictions. Okay. I was pulling up a different one. I have 2,000 meters. I have My Undesirable Friends. I have Apocalypse in the Tropics. I have Cover Up. And I have Come See Me in the Good Light. I think that could get in. I think I'm with Eric here on this one, Josh. This is the front runner. This one, Perfect Neighbor won the CCA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've known for years to stay away from predicting that once that award, that talk about a curse. My God, is that thing a curse when it comes to this category and the popular
Summer of
choices?
Soul was able to overcome it
Yeah,
though. It
no,
won
that's
CCA and
Yes,
won the
but
Oscar.
that has
That's true.
talking head interviews. That does
Sure,
not
that is
count.
true.
That
yeah,
doesn't count.
it does. Yeah, you're right, Eric. Man, he just jumped all over you. You're like ready to go
Oh,
for that one.
I'm
You're not
ready.
taking interviews.
Whenever people bring up Summer of Soul, I'm like, hold on.
But I mean, I think that you know, what is it, Mr. Putin, that Sophia said? I think that that's right in the mix. Um, and I think that I think I think that there's a bunch of films in this. It really doesn't. I don't even feel safe about Cover Up, to be honest with you.
Ooh, I definitely do.
I don't.
If it's the five that Sophia and I predicting, it's winning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I would love it to win.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mhm.
Perfect Neighbors, like in the 6 or 7 spot. For me, I just, yeah, I think that those are fine. I probably should put in something else other than come see. But I don't know. There's something about that movie and how they've been pushing it out there because they got original song and I don't know if it's going to break through an original song when we talk about that, but it gives that movie exposure. It gets it gets that movie out there for people in that branch to pay attention to. But yeah, I agree with you guys, man. If anybody's going to watch a 5 hour documentary, it's going to be this group. They gave OJ, right, the Oscar, right? Did they?
Yes.
So it's like
Yeah.
these guys, they'll sit through anything. They got time, they're okay. Okay. That's anything else? Anybody else? For
I would love to see Seeds get in because it's really, really
Mm.
good. And Come See Me in Good Light is really good.
Yeah.
But I'm always so sometimes with this category, since I have everything ranked, I'll look at the bottom of my rankings and go, one of those is getting in, and I'm just going to look like an idiot. So, like, Coexistence, my ass. There you go. Top 5.
If it was a
getting
short,
in.
it would
Yeah.
win.
It absolutely would lock it in. Lock it in. Yeah.
Eric, best
Mm-mm. What?
best original screenplay.
Oh, ooh, okay.
Fun one.
This is really tough. This is really tough because I do have my predictions up, but I feel good about my 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 is or 7 is really
Gonna say 7.
it's at. So I'll just go through what I think are probably what most of us have, which
Okay.
would be Sinner's Sentimental Value. It was just an accident in Marty Supreme. Is that or no?
No.
If not, okay, great. That's good.
That's what I
good.
have.
That's what I
Okay.
have, but I'm thinking about kicking out Accident.
I have-
For
I
viewing
have-
that live.
Or this is the only place that it really gets in other than international. But
Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Marty are the ones of those that I haven't.
yes, then things have a lot of malleability, because to me it's either Sorry Baby or Weapons is that 5th spot. I have Sorry Baby in. um I was holding off because it didn't make the BAFTA long list. In fact, that movie got really kind of screwed. I thought it was going to do really well because in other UK and London based groups, it was showing up and Ava Victor was showing up. So I thought, oh, okay, cool. This, at least it's been seen. It's going to make the long list, but it did not. Weapons did, however. And Weapons got PGA. Really, really, really great possibility there. Obviously, it has Amy Madigan as a locked-in nomination potential winner. But I just kind of was playing around with the commonality of one film in these screenplay categories being a sole nomination for their film. Ava Victor just got the DGA First Time Director nomination and was the overwhelming leader with that category for critics. So even only with a Critics' Choice nomination, I'm going with Sorry Baby as my 5 of getting in. I don't feel great about it because Weapons and Secret Agent are right there.
Sophia.
As much as I want to predict Sorry Baby because I love that movie so much, it's in my top 5 of the year. I went with The Secret Agent here, and I'm honestly thinking about kicking out Accident and just putting Weapons in. But I'm feeling a little too spicy today, I think, overall. So I'm going to play it safe with this one and just put The Secret Agent in for
I don't know
now.
if you were feeling spicy, wouldn't you like actively kick it out?
But no, I mean, in every other category, I've been doing crazy things. So I feel like
Oh,
I need to
okay.
like sit down for a second.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with The Secret Agent. I feel like that it's a really strong screenplay, and I think it's just surging right now. But you know what? No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to kick out Accident and I'm going to put in Weapons because this is where I'm thinking. This is just my right now. I did
Oh,
not
it's
believe,
like a path I can see.
yeah, I didn't believe Weapons getting in here for a long time. But then I thought back to, okay, this movie doesn't work for me as the Magnolia comparison. But why it does work for me is because it reminds me of Stephen King. It has this very like novelistic quality to it with the different chapters. So I'm gonna do it. We're gonna have fun.
Josh.
I do have Sinners and Sentimental Value and Marty Supreme. I am still sticking with It Was Just an Accident. I understand that movie has taken a tumble, but I think for the writer's branch, it still feels like a better bet for me. I don't feel like with as much as it has fallen lately that it is enough for me to remove it in a writing category. And given the tastes of the writer's branch, it just feels like it's too good of a fit. And I mean, it could miss, but I personally am just not convinced of that right now. And I do have Sorry Baby in my last spot at the moment, but I am nervous about that. There's something that makes me feel like this is like an eighth grade situation where it's a movie that everybody really, really loves, and we know that this is the one category for it, and we hope it'll be our lone screenplay nominee that we're gonna love, but it just misses. So I have Secret Agent at 6. I could move that in, honestly, and then Weapons is my number 7. But right now I'm gonna do Sorry Baby, but like I said, I'm not 100% confident about that making it in.
So before she made her moves on the board, I had The Secret Agent and Weapons with Marty Supreme, Sinners and Sentimental Value. So now Sophia aligns herself with me 5 for 5 yet again.
Oh Lord.
I think that It Was Just an Accident is just completely. I'm sorry. I think it's just completely fallen apart. And its struggle on with BAFTA and its struggle with any sort of screenplay or representation so far from televised, broadcast. And then there was, I don't take the anonymous ballots into much when in terms of voting, but just some comments every now and then. When you read things and you see them, and one of them about It Was Just an Accident's been making its way on social media, where one voter said, "I didn't even know that was a movie. What is it even about?"
It's not in my algorithm.
It's not in my algorithm, which is just like, okay,
That
but
was
So bleak.
it's bleak and it's fucked up, but it kind of makes sense based off of just how things have gone for it this season. And I think that, maybe Secret Agent and screenplay, maybe that's probably not the right move. Maybe it's Blue Moon, because Blue Moon is very writerly and very much,
Yeah.
going to have Ethan Hawke if you have him in. Kind of feels like you should probably have that screenplay in. But
It's my number 8.
yeah, it's in the
Mhm.
the
I have
six.
I have it too
It's
low. I have it
floating.
at 10 and
Yeah,
it should
it's
be
probably
higher.
should be up there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and they've talked just about how they've had that script and they've molded it over the years, and Hawk talked with me about the dialogue and everything. But I have had Weapons in for a while now. I think that Amy Madigan's become a thing. The PGA nom was a huge thing. It is one of the most popular films of the year. It has passion behind it. And it's been really interesting because like with Sinners and One Battle After Another, you would think that this movie would have faded or Amy Madigan might have faded or it wouldn't be able to kind of stay in the conversation, and it has, and it's done really well. I do see that Sorry Baby though, had that late second Julia Roberts up there at the Golden Globes right before she's giving out that award to One Battle. Say, watch Sorry Baby a week going into the voting.
An FYC ad you could never even pay
I'm
for.
like,
Julia bump.
The Javier Bardem of it all. I was just sitting there and going like,
I didn't even invoke it because I didn't want to, but
like, come on,
day before
you gotta think about it.
Yeah, it is one of those, But Eric, to your point, like how much of that makes a factor? How much of people are already decided? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How much does anybody care what Julia Roberts has to say right before they give an award out? Like all those different things. It's a beautiful moment. I'm not taking away from it. I'm just saying, like, how much does that?
I do too. That's what an actor of her caliber should be doing.
Yes, it does.
Use that power for good.
Do a Q&A. Do more than just up on the stage, I think. But and then of course Coogler was on Colbert and he mentioned Sorry Baby as well. But then it's also it's not surprising. It is the directorial debut of the year. So I have it in the 7th spot. I have Blue Moon in the 6th. I have It Was Just an Accident all the way down at 8. Yeah, I really, I love that movie, and I just think I don't think he's going to have to worry about going to the Oscars. Because I don't think he's going to get nominated. I don't think that movie's going to get nominated.
You don't think that it's getting into international? You already think we've done that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not winning that. So
I think it might. There's a world where it is just an international feature nominee. Like that's feeling more and more possible. I think as the weeks have gone on.
That's what I have now for it.
But you know what, Ryan? Just like we were talking about with Ariana Grande, where that felt like she was out so far that even though the movie faltered, it still feels like she can get in.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about It Was Just an Accident. Like, yes, that movie is nowhere near as strong as it used to be, but because it was such a strong contender in this category for so long, I think it can still survive and get over the hump into a nomination.
That's very fair, but I just think that these other films like Sorry Baby, Weapons, Blue Moon, The Secret Agent, they have surged and they have done well, and they have the passion behind them right now. And It Was Just an Accident is faltered, and it's going to show. That's why I don't have a director, and I just don't think he's going to make it in here. If he does, it would be great. It's a wonderful screenplay. If he makes it a director, it's wonderful. I would love to see that happen, but I just don't see the passion for it at this moment. And right now is when you needed to have the passion for it. So
we've all misjudged the passion, and we'll see that on Thursday.
Yeah, and it overperforms, which would be wonderful, and then that kicks out
that
something.
Could still happen.
I mean, if it does, then it's probably going to kick out Secret Agent, which also I feel kind of shaky about it getting into screenplay, because it's like, I mean, I kind of feel like Blue Moon's going to probably get in over it.
I was about to say I'm making a switch right now. I am dropping Sorry Baby and putting in Blue Moon.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
If Hawk's getting in, you probably should have that. I mean, Sophia, you don't have to do that because you have Plemons, but Hawk in that
I can't wait till we talk about supporting actor then.
And we'll see there, but yeah, I think I might be making a switch to Blue Moon over Secret Agent.
I just want something that feels risky too. You gotta have your no guts, no glory somewhere.
I think Secret Agent is surging, but I mean, even the surge last year didn't. And when in with Fernanda and everything, that didn't mean that it had to get a screenplay or director nomination either. So
yeah.
Okay. Next category is, if I can just get this. Oh, it's everyone's favorite category. It's Best Original Song. I think Sophia, this is you
it's
first.
Me?
It's you
okay.
First. Am I off on that? Who went first last time? Do you remember? I can't remember. It's been a long show.
I just did.
Oh, then it's me.
Yeah.
Then it's me. So I'll do it.
Wait, Sophia hasn't gone like first in a minute, right?
I feel
like I just did one.
I feel like you
Didn't
just
I do
did
visual
one.
effects?
Yeah, you did visual effects.
How long ago was that? I
It's
don't
been a
know.
long. You're talking a lot, man.
We're at 220. Actually, we're
Yeah,
fine.
we're
220.
fine.
We're good. We're good.
All right, best original song. Here are my nominees. I have Golden from K-pop Demon Hunter. I have I Lied to You from Sinners. I have Dear Me, Diane Warren
Ms.
Relentless.
Diane, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not yeah. I have The Girl in the Bubble from Wicked for Good. And I have Train Dreams for Train Dreams. That's my five. Sophia?
So I'm pretty close. I kicked out Girl in the Bubble. So I have Golden, I Lied to You, Dear Me, Train Dreams, and Salt Then Sour Then Sweet. Sometimes they like documentary songs here. So even if they don't put the documentary in documentary feature, we will see a song pop up. And this is Brandy Carlisle
And Sarah Bareilles.
and Sarah Bareilles. And I just feel
And
like that
Edward
has,
Gibson is also a
Yeah.
writer too, so
Right.
posthumous nomination as well.
that's
The Girl
true.
in the Bubble get kicked out for that would be
I mean,
crazy.
the Girl in the Bubble is a rough song, but there are always plenty of
Yeah.
rough songs that get nominated here. So it's not exactly a metric of quality when you're looking at this category, but it just felt right thinking of sometimes when we see those doc songs appear,
Oh, no.
like
I
It
mean,
Never Went Away, Elton
was
John
it
last
the
year.
Elton
we
John one
predicted
with
that.
with
Mhm.
Brandy Carlisle?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
that's what I went with.
something to consider there as well. Josh?
Yeah, I actually feel pretty good about Salt and Sour Than Sweet. I as confident as you can be in a category like this,
Right.
but it does feel like that's gonna happen. And yeah, Golden, I Lied to You, Dear Me, they feel like givens as well, as much as we may dread the eventual or inevitable, I should say, Diane Warren nomination, but like you just you got to keep predicting it. And for the longest time, I actually did also have Train Dreams in here. But I don't know, there has been something in the last week or so that has shaken me from that, where I don't know, I don't feel confident about it anymore. And I decided to drop it. And what I put in instead was a movie that I have had a feeling could get in for a while. And I'm just gonna like go ahead on that instinct and predict it. And I'm actually gonna predict highest to lowest.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
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 You love to see talk about bad songs getting in.
It should be
I
Trunks.
I like that song. I like highest to lowest.
I like that movie a lot, but good Lord.
No, I like that song. It's like I'm going to
The
church. Love it.
HMA winner for independent film.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Sure.
It was. Eric.
Okay. I'll actually say that my 6 and 7 don't even do it, Ryan. Shut the fuck up.
You're what?
My number sixth place, seventh place. Shut
Hey.
up. What are you, 6 years old?
I wasn't going to do it, but you brought it up.
No,
so thank
'cause
you.
I didn't realize
saw
what
you
was
almo-
happening.
I didn't
until just
realize,
now,
but then I'm
so-
like, oh, I know where
He
Eric
did
wants
it
to go.
earlier, and I was just like, stop it. All right. Train Dreams and Salt and Sour and Sweet are my number 6 and my number 7. Absolutely possibles here. Golden, obviously, number 1. I have both Sinners songs in here. And I do still have Girl in the Bubble. I do still have that. And the on the cusp for me is actually the Diane Warren. It's Dear Me, even though her name is in the damn title of the movie. But I don't know. I feel like most times when she's in contention, she is the number 5 spot. I just feel like that is the case. So I don't feel comfortable about this at all. Obviously, as listening to you guys, Last Time I Sing the Sun and Girl in the Bubble could easily be out for Train Dreams and Salt and Sour Than Sweet. So I don't feel like I'm gonna go 5 for 5 in this category at all.
Can I tell you all a song that I think could make it in? The Ed Sheeran F1 song. Because
I
That's my
popped
number
that-
6.
I popped it out of my top 5 for my finals.
that song, they campaigned the shit out of it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They had Sheeran and they had John Mayer, who's a co-writer, and everybody, and they performed it in front of a big crowd. And F1 has its fans, and it's a whole movie built on these original songs for the soundtrack, and Top Gun Maverick got the Lady Gaga song in there. Totally different. I understand, totally different. But if you're talking about that was if you're comparing apples and oranges there with the types of films that they're making there, I think that I was really contemplating putting that one in as well. And then the Sarah Bareilles, Brandy Carlisle song, salt and sour than sweet, which is also Erik's preferred choice of snacks in that order.
My God, what?
It salt, sour, and sweet. Yeah, that's your preferred choice. But I mean, I think I might be going too much with Train Dreams, though. That was such an add-on song as well. I worry about that.
Yeah, because that wasn't at the Sundance premiere of it, right?
It was put right at when they premiered it again at TIFF. TIFF was when.
Let me just say, I would be very happy if that did not get in.
What, the Train Dreams song?
Too.
It sounds like a TikTok song to me. Like when you have a big life event, it just is like so literal.
Lyrics are so literal.
Yeah.
Train dreams.
I love that movie, but that song is not good.
Sorry, it's not good.
Dreams.
Okay.
It's super sleepy, much like the film. I love though.
But also the fact that it wasn't written for the song originally.
Yeah.
I do wonder if maybe they'll ding it because of that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to put the F1 song in after, actually.
Why not?
I think so. I'm with you, Erik. I'm not getting this category right. I think if I get 3 out of 6 here, because she's getting in. There's no fucking way she's not getting in.
Yeah,
I lied to you, and obviously our winner Golden's gonna get in, but Diane's gonna be there front and center. Honestly, should have talked about her as a potential spoiler and score. Not saying it's gonna happen.
I don't think
her name's on the damn movie.
That's
again,
isn't it Laura Cartman who did that score? Who did American Fiction? Yeah.
It's again, no. Laura Cartman did the Captain America.
That's right.
Yeah.
Again, this is another group that loves their favorites, but once things get out to the Gen Pop, it's a very different story. It's why she never wins. It's why Diane Warren never wins, but always gets nominated. So
the
this
year
is a crazy group.
Yeah. The year that she got that nomination for Tell It Like a Woman, a movie that fully does not exist, and they already gave her the honorary Oscar, and she still got nominated. It's like, no, there is no reason to not predict her anymore.
This is the opposite of my rule for documentaries. It is the same, but the other side of the coin. I will never discount Diane Warren here until it stops happening.
Yep.
It's like,
and it's a good song. I mean, it's a fine song.
It's like
Kesha.
I still haven't heard the song.
It's fine, but
It's fine.
I've told both Sophia and Ryan the documentary is really, really, really good. If you want an inside look at where she is with Oscar nominations and what she thinks about them and why she wants them so bad, it's a really good. That is the best place you're going to find of why this keeps happening.
Yeah. Why it keeps happening.
Well, I look forward to watching it on the day of the Oscars, which is my tradition every year when it comes to the Diane Warren.
Josh, I do it nomination day.
It's
my tradition.
There you go. Josh, new category.
Okay.
Best casting.
Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, best casting.
Sound enthusiastic, Josh. It's best
I'm
casting.
I'm just trying to find my place of where my list was.
Fine.
Okay. All right. So yeah, well, with the caveat that we just brand new, so we don't know exactly what this final 5 may look like. We have some idea, obviously, but we don't know for sure. So with that, what I'm going with right now is Sinners, One Battle, Marty Supreme. I'm putting in Weapons. I actually feel like that could happen. And I'm just kind of being a little bit of chaos here and going to predict The Secret Agent.
Oh.
All right, Josh. I'm liking your style. Eric?
I love whatever happens in this category. I can't wait. I love it. I love it.
Mm.
Um, I'm still fascinated that we got a short list that has no one being able to get two nominations. That was a really big shock
That was cool.
because I expected that to be a kind of a given and something that will happen in future years. I think it will happen in future years, but it's not happening this year. Um, I am going with Sinners, One Battle, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Weapons.
Sophia.
See, I love the weapons pick. I really, really do. And I want to do it. I do. However, I'm not going to today. And this is why I don't feel good. I'm going with the SAG Ensemble 5.
Oh, wow.
I have
Mm.
Sinners,
Okay.
One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, and I have Frankenstein. Because as much as we talk about weapons and how they reconfigured that cast, a huge part of
Yeah.
Frankenstein's story is getting Jacob Elordi. He was a replacement for Andrew Garfield. And I think it's Robin D. Cook is the casting director. She's worked with Del Toro for a while. She's Emmy nominated. She's, I think, pretty respected in the field too. So I have her at 5. I think in
Frankenstein's
Hamnet,
my
yeah,
six, so yes,
it's, but
absolutely.
I don't feel good that it's SAG Ensemble because I know that's not, I mean, BAFTA, they go rogue sometimes with casting and they'll do very odd titles here and there that aren't best film nominees, but these 5 just make sense to me right now.
Sophia and I are 5 for 5 yet again.
God.
And here are my reasons. I want this category to have weapons in there. I think weapons, and I agree with you, Sophia. Frankenstein, I think Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sinners, One Battle, they all represent the things that you're supposed to do with this category, which is plug and pull and find the right fits. You have discoveries in here with like One Battle. You have non-actors. With Hamnet, you have a discovery with you have this crazy ensemble with Marty Supreme. The replacements of a Lordy and the replacements of an entire cast minus one person, Austin Abrams, is an insane thing. And when you look at what that cast for weapons would have been, which it is now, it's insane that Pedro Pascal was almost the Josh Brolin character. That would have been terrible casting. But I just also feel like as much as we want to say like, yes, this is about the casting directors and yes, this is about, all that too. I also just feel, man, and I know that it's voted on by them. I also have this lazy feeling inside of me that they're just going to do a SAG ensemble sort of thing.
But you see,
And
that's why
I
I
know
would actually, I don't think so. I
I
actually think the fact that this is a brand new category, I think the casting directors would actually want to make a pointed effort to say, we're not just doing an ensemble thing. Like when it comes to the voting with the General Academy, yeah, I kind of feel like they may default to that. But I feel like the casting directors themselves want to make a pointed statement to say, we're not just doing an ensemble
I hope so,
prize.
Josh.
We are doing things that are reflective of the work that the casting director is doing. And that's why I feel like it's not just going to be SAG ensemble 5 for 5. That's just my
No,
perspective. We don't
no.
know for sure, but that's just my feeling about it right
That's why
now.
I don't feel good about it. Like
Yeah, I
it's
don't
why
feel
I
good
don't feel
about it,
great
but
about the prediction.
it also mirrors exactly the top 6 that's inside of there because outside of weapons, that is the SAG 5. And it's so it does coincidentally fall into that. And I hope then that when it gets to the general vote, that might be a sign of strength for weapons to be able to pick it, is that, maybe in the room they are having those conversations. We don't know. That's the great thing
Yeah.
about this being so new, is we don't know if they're going to consider that ensemble award into the vote or not. God, I hope not. This is why I would love to hear conversations from the rooms afterwards from the heads of these guilds and the heads of these, the represent this voting body. But for now, I also do feel like those feel like the right films in there, and Weapons is clearly my six. It's kind of crazy that certain films came in and out of it, like over the season, and we were talking about these giant ensembles, and they didn't make it in. Um, you know, uh,
Like
but
Wake Up Dead Man.
Wake Up Dead Man, Jay
Yeah.
Kelly.
Mhm.
These are films that
I mean,
didn't get,
Surratt is here.
Surratt
And The
is
Secret
here.
Agent. Like these are movies that
Is-
are only in here because they
Remind me
are
if I'm wrong.
real casting efforts.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Remind me. Is Sentimental Value on this
Yeah,
Mhm.
list?
I've thought
Yeah.
about predicting that one for a bit
That is
too.
Yep.
that is one there as well. Where you're taking international actors, you're taking American actors. They found
Mhm.
the child actor in the film as well. Like it is also a difficult task there. But these just feel like the five for me. Weapons feels right there. Yeah, I agree with Secret Agent, and Secret Agent would be a great one, honestly. But yeah, that's where I'm at
I
currently.
mean, the category is new, so really, like any direction you want to go in, like you have the liberty
Yeah,
to do so because there is no criteria to judge from.
yeah,
Yeah, on that, I do want to point out that we've obviously had the Casting Society Artios Awards for almost 40 years, but they do have multiple categories. But the caveat with them is just like the Writers Guild, where if you are not a member, you're not going to get nominated. So one
one
battle
battle
after
after
another
another.
is not a CSA nominee. And I emailed them specifically to ask, is this like an oversight? Can you like shed some light on this? And you cannot get nominated if you are not a member. So
And
it's not a
Weapons there
snub to
too.
miss here.
Weapons there
Yes,
too. Yeah.
exactly. So those were kind of like all the little bits and pieces I was thinking about. And obviously Critics' Choice introduced this category
Do,
too.
don't
Although calling
don't
it casting and ensemble,
see
really rude.
that's where,
Rude.
yeah, it's rude, and it also is like that's the problem I have when it comes down to the vote, maybe more
I don't
than it
like
is to the
it.
noms, where it's just like
Yeah.
when it comes down to the vote, I feel when it gets to the general vote, they're just going to go, "Oh, that's the
Yeah.
ensemble where we're just going to give it to that." And it's like, no, that's not the
But
point.
if
You
there's a
know,
place that does really, kind of give us a nice uh, look at the future, it is BAFTA. And even though we're not getting BAFTA nominations until after the Oscars, BAFTA long list here is, I think, a very good place to have at least the majority of your picks.
yeah, no, for sure. Eric, best editing.
Fuck. Um, I don't like this category. This category makes me mad, makes me sad, but maybe I'm wrong. Because this is a place where I have Hamnet also just on the outside, and I think maybe I'm in my head about it, but it did miss CCA, and every critics group that had editing as a category, Hamnet was constantly missing. And it is kind of one of those movies where the flashier editing of like a Marty Supreme or even a House of Dynamite or Weapons is the kind of thing that can get in over a linear traditional drama. Unless, that film is really a Best Picture frontrunner. It kind of has to be. It can't really miss here. It's too tough to miss here. So I have One Battle, Sinners, F1, Marty Supreme, and I have Frankenstein in, but I don't feel good about it because I do have Hamnet at 6 and House of Dynamite at 7. But hey, maybe it's Sentimental Value. Maybe that is top 5 because it is a top 5
Film.
Best Picture film.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Josh?
I have that 5, Eric, the same. I also have Frankenstein in that 5th spot. And Sentimental Value is actually my number 6. I think the opening montage alone would make me think that it could be in there, but it has an issue that I think is similar to Hamnet, which is why I struggle to put it in here, which is there's a lot of moments in that movie where they just cut to black. And I think that disrupts the kind of flow of that. It's funny, I showed Sentimental Value to my mom, and very anecdotal, but she loved the movie, but said I didn't like how it was edited. She didn't like the cut to blacks. And I feel
Wow.
like that is an issue with that film. I think Hamnet has that, and it has jump cuts. And I do not think that that like is appealing to the branch. And I think that's the reason why it's been missing. And I kind of defaulted to Frankenstein. Honestly, I agree with you. I don't feel great about it, but I just feel there's a knock against everything else. And then when in doubt, pick Frankenstein. So that's where I'm settling on. Yeah, with that five.
Well, weirdly enough, because for me, one of the things that when thinking about Hamnet, there are so many long single takes in the film,
That too.
many, 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 where there is no edit at all, which I love. It's great. It's why it should be in this category and cinematography. But I think it might be the thing that works against it.
hmm
Sophia.
I'm so torn because honestly, part of me thinks that Hamnet will just get in, even though it's been missing precursors. Because, like last year, I
Yeah.
remember at the end of the day, like I predicted The Brutalist just because I felt good about it getting in, like being so high up in the picture race. And it got in, even though it didn't get precursors really anywhere. So sometimes I feel like what we've seen lately is they do line up pretty frequently with the strong films in the best picture race. We have F1 here. I don't think it's
Yeah.
missing, right? Whether you have it in picture or not, I think it's getting in. So, yeah, I'm very torn. I've been going back and forth on this one. I think almost more than any of the other ones because director is all fun and good. You can switch out however many people you want, but for me, it really is that fifth spot after One Battle Sinners, Marty Supreme, and F1. And right now, I do have Hamnet, but I don't feel good about it because I had
No.
Frankenstein yesterday and I had Sentimental Value the day before. Like
Yeah.
it really is. And Sentimental Value also has missed a ton of precursors. Like it wasn't even nominated for editing at the European Film Awards. So that would be one where it's like, I'm not seeing any evidence to back that up. It would really just be for strength of the movie. So
Here
I'm gonna
comes
go,
Sarat.
oh my God, can you
I
imagine?
would not be shocked,
Yeah.
honestly. Would not
Talk
be
about
shocked.
flashy editing. So right now I'm gonna go with Hamnet, but I don't feel confident.
Man, a movie with flashy editing is The Secret Agent. My God, going back and
Yeah.
forth between time periods. I mean,
Uh-huh.
if there was a surprise in Sign of Strength for that, that would be in that film, which people do love, branch
Yeah.
members and members of the Academy that I've spoken with.
I mean,
I'm
that
I,
has the brutalist chapters thing
it
too of
does,
the
hmm
long
but
scale
that's
story.
where Frankenstein gets the edge over Hamnet and Sentimental Value is that it has these chapters and it has the two parts of Victor and the monster story, and that movie is so goddamn long, and but at time and for people it moves and it gets better as the second act kicks in, or the second half, for a lot of reasons. Alordi's performance, going back between what we've seen on the screen the first 20 minutes of the film to then what we've led up to, the multiple stories within the story. So I have One Battle Sinners, Marty Supreme, F1, and Frankenstein. I don't feel confident with F1 because, spoiler, I don't have it in Best Picture, and I don't think it's like it's not as strong as Maverick, and it's not as strong as other showy films like it is, but it hasn't missed a lot. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that gets kicked out. And then, yeah, that's where Hamnet, Sentimental, Secret Agent, fucking Sarat, anything else comes into play, is because F1 is not as strong in other places, but it is a flashy film. There is stuff about racing. It does like kind of remind you a little bit of 4v Ferrari, though that got into picture, so those flashy sports films do get in from time to time. But yeah, I mean, Sentimental Value has great editing, but I do agree with you, Josh. Like, it does have that as like if you want to have like a quibble about that, Hamnet's got the long takes. Does the other international films have a chance of doing that? I don't think if there's any other really films in contention that really kind of go there. So it's like process of elimination is why I picked
Yeah.
Frankenstein. But I would love it if it was something else.
What if
Yeah,
it's
Secret
Begonia?
Agent would be.
I was just
I,
gonna say
I think
Begonia
that's possible.
is
He's been nominated before.
yes, he
Hmm.
has. That's
And the trend of late has been to nominate 5 Best Picture nominees in this category.
yeah, that has been the trend. So the outliers, like we had an outlier last year in cinematography with Ed Lockman, you
Mhm.
know. So is the outlier here or is it not at all? Obviously the branches don't share members, but it
Doesn't happen often with editing, though.
does, yeah.
That
So
usually ties itself pretty closely to picture contenders.
for sure. Sophia, second to
Yes.
last category. This is actually how it played out. It was just wild, but our second to last category is best supporting actor. So we
Oh,
do get to do picture last, which is crazy.
amazing.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, like, did picture come up at some point and you just
Nope.
strategically moved off of it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It just happened the way it is. Just spin
Okay.
of the wheel.
So I'm going to keep this simple.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, Stellan Skarsgård, Jacob Elordi, and Paul Mescal. That's a
That's
consistent safe 5 that we've been seeing throughout the season. I'm not going to really play around here and entertain other options because I just haven't seen enough for them yet. So I'm just going with this 5.
Josh. Same.
Yeah, that is my 5, although I still think Paul Mescal is shaky. I still think that could be a surprise, shocking. Sorry, Eric.
Eric's like,
But
mother.
like this is how I feel. I still feel like he is the vulnerable one in this group. I still feel that way. And if there were to be somebody, I actually still think Delroy Lindo could be our surprise, come out of nowhere nomination. I still feel that way. I think especially lately, I just get a sense that there's a groundswell for him. But I'm not going to predict it. I think Hamnet kind of rebounded a little bit and it made him on safer ground. So I'm not going to stray from that 5, but I just think that is still a possibility that could happen, but I am going to stick with, Skarsgård, Elordi, Del Toro, Penn, and Mescal.
Eric.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the same 5. I'm not going to entertain anything else.
Same. That's the 5. It will be the 5. Though, I mean, I guess we're all just going to sit in that station and watch how the Adam Sandler train didn't happen again this year. It's just it's a real goddamn shame. Jay Kelly's going to get blanked. That's crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
From
I
where
had
we
George Clooney winning at one point,
That
like
is-
early in
yeah.
the season.
Mm-hmm.
just insane. That's super insane. Just wild. But yeah, I mean, like,
Yes.
Sandler's not going to get in. I don't believe. I mean, like, Miles Canton got it at SAG and Delroy's long listed.
He's my 6. Caden's my 6.
Caden's
Lindo's
probably
my
the
7.
but it's Eric. Your 5 was like Sean Penn, right? In when you did your predictions,
Yeah,
right?
I just bumped Penn down and Elordi up.
Okay. The
Penn's getting in.
but like
No,
yeah,
he's
that's
getting
no.
in.
But like Sophia,
getting
what
in.
I was gonna say is the gap between in that case, if Sean Penn is 5 and someone else to overtake him for 6 is a river of hills. Like it is so wide because
A river of hills.
yeah, the song.
Okay.
Yeah, you haven't seen One Battle
Well,
enough.
you haven't watched it enough, Eric, to
that-
know.
I
It's a
don't-
track on the
Which
name
score.
of this track on the
Is that-
score?
okay, I don't know the track name. Sorry.
It's
I'm
the
so
hill.
sorry.
It's the
because I haven't seen it 11 times.
Yeah, it's
No,
the
I
hill.
know that.
So,
I was just there.
yeah, I was just there.
Sort of.
I wrote it. Okay, that's the 5.
So no Andrew Scott with all this Blue Moon talk.
Get the fuck out.
I mean, he is in my 10,
For
but
what?
I don't
Yeah,
think
for
it's-
what?
Of course.
for what?
Of course.
For
I
what?
don't say for what. He's good at
What
that.
did he do in that movie? Except say, I don't want to write with you.
Okay.
I don't want to
look-
have a drink with you.
I don't want
Was
to. I don't
really-
want to have this
Was
argument right
really
now.
good looking.
Sure.
I mean, sorry, me and Josh, we'll talk later about it. I guess.
Yeah,
I did think
there's
I
actually
did think
a
he
lot
was
going on.
good, but
Yeah.
that was a performance actually where the knowledge that he won at
Berlin.
Berlin
You're like,
affected how I felt about watching the
he
performance.
won
in the
over
movie.
Ethan Hawke? No, Ethan Hawke just takes over
It's
everybody.
an
in the
intentionally different kind of performance that, but it's,
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot going on
It's a
there. underneath the
minor role.
surface.
Yeah. Bobby Cannavale has more screen time than he does. Best picture. We're here.
Here we are.
All right.
Wait, we didn't do
Wait,
production design.
I was about to say, did we do production design?
We did do production
No.
design, didn't we?
No, we did
didn't.
not.
I thought we did. Oh, okay. All right.
Mhm.
It should
Let's
be
do-
pretty
well,
easy though.
This
We'll
is
do
easier 'cause
production
this is
design.
another top 5.
This is
so.
easier.
Yeah. We'll do production design real quick.
Yeah.
Sophia, if you got it up, go.
Sure. I have Frankenstein, Sinners, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, and Wicked for Good.
Yep. That's what I got.
Yeah. I didn't change my finals from my last month's. Same 5.
My
Yeah,
alternate
it's-
is One Battle After Another.
That's what
My
I have.
alternate is Fantastic Four.
My alternate is Avatar only because it is winning visual effects, and I still cannot shake that visual effects winner nominated for production design, but I don't think it is strong enough to knock out any of those 5. So
I have Frankenstein, Sinners, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and One Battle After Another.
Oh, okay.
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 For the same sets. No, thank you. You know, just
But it is Nathan Crowley.
cool.
Okay. I mean, all right, Ryan.
Wicked's is not strong.
Mhm.
I
Huh.
love Florencia Martin's work in One Battle After Another. It's great
Yeah.
stuff.
It's great stuff.
Read my interview
Yeah, I'm
with
not
her.
saying it isn't good, but
She's
I
great.
think whatever.
Josh, they're one battle pilled. Ryan,
know, I know.
especially. It's you're not going to be able to shake it.
If
I
I'm
know.
having to choose in the 5 or 6 between Wicked and One Battle After Another, like, what are we doing?
I-
No, what are you
well,
doing?
for you, but
I
just-
put Wicked in, but that'll be
I-
one where if One Battle gets in, I'll be happy surprised. Like happily surprised.
I mean, I
Yeah.
could change it to Wicked
Okay.
tomorrow. Who knows?
No, keep it because then I will at least know there's one category where I will do better than you. So please keep One
You
battle
know
in
what?
there.
I think I'm going to change it to Wicked just so that, to spite you.
Oh my god.
I'll do that because then when One battle does get in, you'll be even
Yeah,
better.
and then I lost the
But
point.
go ahead. It's a win-win for me, honestly. Go ahead, do it.
I'll lose sleep over it. No, I won't. All right, best picture. Let's do this the easy way. Okay. Everybody has One Battle After Another in. Yes.
Yes.
No.
No. This is the one where it misses. Eric, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sinners,
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Hamnet,
Yes.
Yes.
Frankenstein,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Supreme,
Yes.
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 Sentimental Value.
Yes.
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 Okay.
I feel like I'm answering a questionnaire, like I'm on jury duty or something.
Have you taken your insulin today, Bob? Yeah, it's got a little bit of like that. Train Dreams. Everybody got that in?
Yeah, but not that high. On
Yeah,
the
not that
list.
high.
Well,
but
no.
it's in there.
It's not preference. We're just throwing
Yeah,
out.
yes.
We're just throwing
Yeah,
out.
but it is in there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Eric, Train Dreams.
Yes.
Okay, so
I
that's
think
8.
so. I haven't finalized.
We got all that taken care of.
Is that 8 or is that 7?
That was 7.
Is that 7? Oh, okay. Begonia. Does everybody have
that-
Begonia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Begonia.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does
That's 8.
everybody have The Secret Agent?
Yes.
I do.
Eric.
I don't know yet because I haven't really finalized.
Just make a
Like-
goddamn prediction.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to change from my last month at all. Oh my God.
Okay. So that's
Maybe.
9.
Does everyone have the Lost Bus?
Does everyone
Wait.
have After the Hunt? You know?
Oh, I
Okay.
know what I'm doing.
All right. So number 10, this is the final spot. We've gone 9 for 9, everybody here, which is wild. Josh, I'm going to kick it over to you first. What is in your 10 spot? This is
Right
defi-
now.
I have nothing in there, by the way, right now. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Right now it was just an accident.
Okay.
But obviously movie's taking a beating. I
Yeah.
don't feel great about it anymore. But
Don't
I'm
listen-
gonna go with it for right now.
Yeah, don't listen to me, Josh. I mean, we could be wrong, but I just feel like the movie's fading. And I don't want it to. I love that movie. It's in my top 10 of the year. But it just feels like that. Can't get I can't get everything I want this year, you
The
know?
problem is that like I still think Panahi could get into director. And if I have
Yeah.
him in my director lineup, I need that movie in a best picture lineup. I don't feel good about a lone director in a solid 10 field. I never have. So like if I were to drop Panahi, that would make it easier for me to drop. It was just an
No, that's
accident,
fair.
but if I have Panahi like still making it into my director lineup, then the movie needs to be in my picture lineup
See, I
too.
don't have him in, so that makes it easier for
Yeah,
myself.
exactly.
Sophia.
Oh, this is so hard because when I initially put this list together, I hadn't kicked It Was Just an Accident out of original screenplay yet, like I
And
did
now
when
we're
I made that,
yeah.
did the Chaos Monster thing. Um, I think for the sake of that though, I think I probably will just go back to that logic and put it back in original screenplay and put It Was Just an Accident in my 10 spot because F1 and Weapons just don't feel right to me here. Like those just feel like PGA picks.
Or do they? Or does it? Or is Weapons in?
But F1,
But
I worry
F1 I
about
put in
that.
editing.
And I think it is actually win competitive for best sound, and that alone makes me feel like, well, it can still get into a picture lineup.
Yeah. Where I'm stuck with F1 is that normally when we have surprises that aren't like from the PGA list or that just come out of nowhere, they are these like international films or critical picks like Nickel Boys, where you're just like, how did that happen? Like, you just got this adapted screenplay nomination and picture, or I'm Still Here, just getting international feature and actress. So this one is going to probably be a game time decision, but I'm sticking with It Was Just an Accident for now.
Eric.
Oh, this is
I
tough
don't
because
know.
I think I'm gonna do the same. This was my December prediction was our same nine
Yeah.
plus it was just an accident. But I do think that Weapons and F1 are very, very real competitors. The thing about F1, and I know I've seen it in some people's final predictions, and going to Ford v Ferrari as the comp. The thing about Ford v Ferrari is that Christian Bale was in SAG. He
Hmm.
got like a Golden
Yep.
Globe. There were other things at
Yeah.
play, and
Yep, yep,
James
yep.
Mangold,
Yeah.
certainly
Right.
a different level of director that pushed it just over that. Even though, Bale didn't get in, it didn't matter because it still had enough bona fides before, which is a little more than F1 actually has.
Period piece
But
too, like it had like craft
yeah,
behind
Hmm.
it.
yes. So honestly, Weapons is in better shape to me than F1 is. And if I think it's getting in casting, why would it not get into picture?
And
But I don't have
screenplay.
it in
And
screenplay, so I'm
you don't
being
have it there.
I'm being very inconsistent with Weapons because I don't know what to do with it. That could be Amy Madigan and nothing because
Yeah.
I mean, missing makeup still makes no
Hmm.
sense
Oh, makes
whatsoever.
makes no sense.
So it's either getting one or it's getting like four.
Or yeah.
I don't know. At the moment, right now, I'm sticking with It Was Just an Accident and Weapons at 11. Because then that doesn't give us a 10 for 10 with PGA, which I don't think is happening either.
Yeah.
I don't think though we're gonna get 3 international films in. I just don't think it.
Oh, that's right. I have Secret Agent, so that's not
Oh
10 for 10
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we've been the studio getting 3 in. I just don't see a world where it's gonna happen. And Secret Agent pulled ahead. And I think it was just an accident is going to suffer for that. One surged and the other one plummeted. And Sentimental Value stayed the course the entire way through. So I kept saying, like, if Sentimental Value had just won the palm over It Was Just an Accident, we wouldn't be having a conversation about It Was Just an Accident at this point. We wouldn't. We wouldn't be having that conversation because it would just be done. We would be like, these are the two. Bing, bang, boom, we're done. Move on. And that's kind of where I think that the Academy and everybody has just kind of given us that clue is that the jury got it wrong in their eyes, and these are the two films they love the most. I could be wrong about that. I hope I'm wrong about that, but it was always going to be a tough sell to get 3 neon films in to this race, especially if those three were international films. It was always going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked and Avatar: Fire and Ash. When they both missed at PGA, it was like a bullet to the heart.
That was the death knell.
It was. F1
It was awesome.
F1 and Weapons replaced them. And they've both shown sign of strength. There is another film that we have yet to talk about. We talked about it in screenplay, we talked about it in actor, and that is Sony Pictures Classics with Blue Moon. That is shown up at
Again, what a wonderful variety of picks you have.
It would
here
be.
in Best Picture.
It would be.
Ray.
I'm just saying, I think that kind of feels like a good package there for it.
I mean, that's close to the I'm Still Here
Package that
thing
they
with Sony Pictures Classics.
got last year.
And just never underestimate them. Like they
can't
run the
underestimate
best
them.
stealth campaigns out there.
Yeah, and they've done a fantastic job. And Ethan Hawke has sold the shit out of this thing, and it is overperformed in the right way. And it kind of makes sense more than Weapons and more than F1. But Hawke is not like a winner, right? Amy Madigan could win that category. F1 could win sound. It's competitive in editing. And so that's why I think those are higher. And this is so difficult because like I love Weapons. And picking that would be, it feels so much like I want this to happen. And I've been like, F1's not fucking happening. But I don't know. I feel like I feel like maybe it is F1, which would feel like that just doesn't feel right because it's too many blockbusters in there. So is it Blue Moon? It was just an accident. I don't know.
There's something about the Blue Moon thing that is hitting me in the right way, I have to say, just because
screenplay and actor and him.
Yeah, and like I don't have it anywhere, which feels wrong. Like as I'm looking at my predictions, and I probably will put Hawk back in like when I really finalize these next week. But to get a nomination for picture, right? You have to have number one votes. And I just don't know if it was just an accident has that kind of passion behind it.
Weapons
That's where I'm stuck. It's like passion is how you get nominated. Consensus is how you win.
Yeah.
So what has enough passion to get that 10th spot?
If we're talking about it like that, then
the
I would say
preferential
Weapons.
ballot for nominations is also used in director and acting.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So that is still a
I don't know
consensus base.
It is, but the passion is like the number one vote. That's what I'm saying of like how a preferential ballot works.
Threshold.
Whereas if you're just voting in another category, that's more of the consensus. I mean, it's passion, it's both, but that's how I think about the preferential of it all.
I was reading articles about like, what if you get over the threshold? Certain, then who does those votes go to? They start to tally off to other nominees. So you have to then play the factor of like what film, if I'm voting for Hamnet and she has over the votes, what film likely would that voter vote for? And where would they go? But like for one battle, where does that go to? Probably Marty
those number
Supreme.
twos and number threes do not count as much. They become a fraction. What they count to. But I think that's where people get themselves in trouble sometimes. Is thinking, if a person likes one battle, they will probably really love Marty Supreme. Yes.
And that's
where you get yourself in trouble of thinking that an individual, I mean, I would think about any of us and what our top 10 is, and it's very different. My number one, my number two, my number three, number four are nothing like each other.
No.
So I think that's limiting the idea of the scope of the voter of only liking like one kind of movie.
Yeah. I still haven't picked a movie yet. I've been just delaying it here.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. I don't know. This is very tough.
Sounds like you want to pick Weapons, honestly.
I want to pick Weapons,
like
but that's a personal pick, but it also
Well, but you have evidence to
I have
support that.
I mean I have it in screenplay. I have Madigan, six in casting. But then Warner
Mhm.
Brothers gets 3 films in, and I don't buy that shit either. You
That's
know,
more likely. See, then you
it is.
have the 4 nomination scenario, and
I
that makes
do.
sense.
It makes sense. You know, I think also I might move Secret Agent out of screenplay and put Blue Moon in because that makes more sense, honestly, there. And Kluber makes more sense in director than it does in a screenplay. But then that would open up Blue Moon. I'm gonna stay for now. Like Sophia said, these things can change. I'm gonna pick Weapons and
Yeah.
say that it goes
Yeah.
9 for 10.
Yeah, that would be 9 for 10.
Well, there's also a world where Train Dreams misses, by the way.
Absolutely.
Just
It
like
could be
Sing
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 Sing.
all
It could
over
be.
again, you know?
Except
And
it's actually weaker than Sing Sing because Coleman Domingo was never missing.
yeah,
And
and
he got everything.
yeah, and they had a song, you know, that was pretty much in.
Yeah.
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 And they had that song all right. You
Okay.
know,
Wow.
so, but you know, that's it. That's our
Yeah,
nominees.
I don't know. I still think F1 because it could win sound makes me feel like that could get into. And like it's F1, so there might be some international appeal with that too,
Yeah,
you know.
that's good logic. Is that that's Warner Brothers as well, right? Or does that
Well,
count for
No,
Apple?
It's
It's
Apple.
Apple. Warner Brothers
Yeah.
only distributed it. They can't like clock it as one of their
Oh,
winners
okay.
or films.
Yeah.
They
And
just
also,
get the
Ryan, you
money?
talked about there being like blockbusters. Like that would be the only real blockbuster in this group outside of
Sin-
like Sinners.
Was the Sinners doesn't
Yeah.
count? I mean, wouldn't one?
Well, yeah,
I mean,
Sinners,
is
but
One Battle
like
not a
that's it.
blockbuster.
One battle doesn't count.
No,
Sinners
that's not a
counts.
blockbuster. No.
Does
So like
Frankenstein
F1
not count?
counts.
No, the people putting on the show would actually really love F1 to be nominated because
Okay.
otherwise it is
Mhm.
not a show that people are tuning in for.
Well,
with these
Weapons
nominees.
Weapons made a crap ton of money too, right? So it's like,
I think
Yeah.
if you base well, you can base it on 2 things, either just total box office or budget to box office ratio. And obviously something like Weapons gets to be a
Yeah.
blockbuster in that framing. It all depends how you frame it.
what if
Sure.
it is? What if it is just Avatar? It's made all this
No.
fucking money, and then it's
How
just
could it
fucking
not
gets
get
back
an
in.
PGA?
I know.
It's
I'm
it's
just
not.
saying.
Even
No.
Way of Water did better.
I could see just
Yeah.
big Jim fans being like, you know, his friends and buddies just being like, let's get him in there. I could see
No, I
that.
don't think so.
And it's a different
Nope.
studio. I'm just worried about.
I can't see it.
I'm just worried about picking a studio with 3 films. We've never seen it before. It's never happened.
Well, then pick
It's
F1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pick Weapons. I'm
But
going
it-
with it
Or
for
Blue
now.
Moon.
Yeah.
Or Blue
But
Moon.
it is also an exceptional year for Warner Brothers. This is
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Neon for that matter. We don't have these kind of things every year. We
No.
just happen to have it now.
Well, even I mean, for God's sakes, Focus would get 2 in. 3 studios would get at least 2 films in.
Yes,
That's never happened before
Yeah.
either.
that's going to be crazy. when
That's
it's
crazy.
that. When
Yeah.
3
Searchlight of
studios.
it all is
That's
weird.
unless Begonia doesn't get in, obviously.
Oh.
Oh, it's
You know what I mean?
it's in.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
Unfortunately.
play it
That
out.
is
you know?
locked. That is locked.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Well, Sophia and I.
No, I didn't like that movie either.
None of us. Eric, did you like that movie? I can't remember.
I liked it more than you guys did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
but,
still hate the ending though.
yeah.
I'm so mad I saw it instead of Urchin at Telluride.
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
Urchin's
Yeah.
Movie I
great.
ended up really loving. So
Oh, loved
Yeah.
Urchin.
yeah.
so much. Boy, talk about. We haven't even talked about movies that should be here. That's
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
other
That's a
3-hour
whole other-
podcast.
Yeah.
So we're not
On my
doing
top
that.
10.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We already did that earlier in the year. That's our final predictions. We're probably going to move them all around
It's the final
next week.
podcast
Yeah,
predictions.
exactly. We still got 4 days left to maybe move some stuff around. But I would caution everybody out there listening: if you are moving stuff around, probably don't too much of it. Second guessing can always screw you on these things. Josh, can you tell everybody where you can find you and all your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at JR Parham, and you can find my work at Next Best Picture and AwardsWatch.
Sophia.
You can find me on Twitter at Sophia_Sim, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at Sophia Sim. You can find my podcast, Oscar Wilde, wherever you listen to podcasts, and more reviews, interviews, and podcasts at AwardsWatch.
Erik Anderson.
Yes, you can find me at awardswatch.com, obviously, and my new Twitter account at AwardsWatch Erik. And then everywhere else is just Awards Watch.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky at Ryan McQuade 77. If you like podcasts, we got the Director Watch podcast that releases on Thursdays. And this week, we're wrapping up our Warren Beatty's movie series with an episode about rules don't apply. And guess what, guys? On that episode, the rules do not apply. It's a wild episode. It's a fun episode to finish off the Warren Beatty series, which was a really fun series. And I can't wait for the next one that'll start the following week. iTunes, Spotify, 5-star reviews are greatly appreciated. While you're on the website, Erik does the newsletter twice a week. Please sign up. It's the best place to get all of our news, reviews, interviews, podcasts, everything sent to you all in one place. Next week, we will be back. We will be talking about these Oscar nominations. We'll be trying to break them down. Were we right? Were we wrong? Did we stress too much? Were they too conventional? What happened here? There's going to be a lot to break down next week. It's going to be a long show. But thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you all next time.